Welcome, everybody, to the finale, at least of the main story, of Thousand Year Duel. That's right, it is finally time. Today is going to be the 8th and final chapter, as well as one other thing, but it's going to be very, very quick because of how I've got it set up here. So let's get started. I'm very excited to see how the end of the game goes here. Alright. First thing is first. I did remember to save. Good. We've got one other thing that we need to do, which is the recipes. Thankfully, with the way I did this is not going to take very long, because I did most of them off screen. And there is a good reason for that. As you can see, most of the recipes are done here. The main reason I did this was because simply there is not enough space between your inventory and the storage that they give you in any of the stores that you can use to check or withdraw items in order to make all of these. It's just not possible. We are going to do the remaining 5. I left the 5 out that I did for a specific reason. But it is worth noting that I'm going to show how each of these are made because, as you can see right here with the description, it will actually just straight up show you, like, hey, this is what you need to use in order to get it. So, going over the ones we have very quickly, bearing in mind that these are in the order that they are listed here, but I am going to be skipping a couple. Mushroom fry, just cook a mushroom or a super mushroom by itself. Mushroom roast, cook a life mushroom or a slow mushroom. Mushroom steak, cook an ultra mushroom. I guess I should go over what they do. 6 HP and 2 FP for the mushroom fry, 15 HP and 5 FP for the mushroom roast, and 30 HP and 10 FP for the mushroom steak. Honey mushroom is 5 HP and FP. You mix a mushroom and honey syrup. I'm just going to go over the names of the mushrooms on this one really quick because it's basically just mushroom and maple syrup for maple mushroom, mushroom and gem and jelly for jelly mushroom. Honey super is honey syrup and super mushroom. Maple syrup is maple super is maple syrup and super mushroom. Jelly syrup is jammy and jelly and super mushroom. Same thing with the honey ultra, honey syrup and ultra mushroom, maple syrup and ultra mushroom, jam and jelly and ultra mushroom. For these, all the effects combined together. They are combined very, very simply. So you'll need 3 of each mushroom and 3 of each jelly type in order to make all 9 of those recipes. The Zest Dinner, a tasty meal made by Zesty, replenishes 10 FP and FP. You mix a mushroom and a horsetail together. Is that one of the special ones I've got on here? It is. When you make this one, you will need to save it if you're doing all the recipes. I'll point this out each time we go across one of these, because this itself is going to combine with something else in order to make a different one of these ones that we're missing here, which is why it was in my inventory. Zest Special is 20 HP and 20 FP. Mix an ultra mushroom and a slow mushroom together. Zest Deluxe is 40 HP and 40 FP. You mix a golden leaf with a whack-a-bump. Spaghetti replenishes 6 HP and 4 FP, just a fresh pasta by itself. Koopasta, 7 HP, 7 FP. Mix a fresh pasta with turtley leaf. Spicy pasta, 10 HP and FP, and also charges you. Mix a fresh pasta and a hot sauce. We'll be skipping one right here, because again, we'll come back to this. Hottest Dog, this is only available in the Switch version. Charges you and replenishes 7 HP and FP. Is a hot dog and a hot sauce. Spicy Soup, 4 HP, 4 FP. It is a fire flower by itself. I'm getting poked. Fried Egg, 10 HP, just an egg by itself. Omelet Meal, 5 HP, 5 FP. Mix a Mystic Egg with a horsetail. Koopa Bun, 15 FP. Mix a turtley leaf with a keel mango. Healthy Salad, cures conditions like poisoning and replenishes 15 FP. Mix a turtley leaf with a horsetail. Those are pretty easy to get, so together that's not too bad. Meteor Meal, food that refills 7 HP and gradually recovers even more. Mix a shooting star with a mushroom fry. I didn't actually make this one. This one was given to me as a quest reward. So bear in mind if it's given to you as a quest reward or you find it, I think it might appear here. I think that's also where the omelet meal came from. Couple's Cake, food that slowly refills HP. You can't eat it yourself, but you can share it. Mix a snow bunny with a spicy soup. Same thing here. That was given to me. Moose Cake, 15 FP. Just cook a cake mix by itself. Mushroom Cake replenishes 10 FP and 10 HP. Mix a mushroom with a cake mix. Choco Cake, 5 HP, 15 FP. Mix a cake mix with an inky sauce. We'll go over the inky sauce later. In case you can't tell, these are... Oh, no, it's actually not done that way. I was going to say these are done alphabetically, but not. You can sort them to do it that way. Heartful Cake. A zesty cake replenishes 20 FP, but also softens you. Mix a cake mix with a ruin powder. That was what I needed the ruin powder for. Fruit Parfait, 10 HP, 2 FP, mix a Keel Mango with a Peachy Peach. Mango Delight, 10 HP and 3 FP, mix a Keel Mango with a Cake Mix. This is another one that you will need to keep in order to make probably this one right here. Zest Cookie, 15 HP, 15 FP, mix a Cake Mix and a Gradual Syrup. Mushroom Crepe, 30 HP, 20 FP, mix an Ultra Mushroom with a Cake Mix. Peach Tart makes you electrified, dodgy, or sleepy, mix a Cake Mix with a Peachy Peach. Koopa Tea, 7 FP, just put a Turley Leaf in by itself. We've done this one a fair bit. Zest Tea, 20 FP, just use a Golden Leaf by itself. Mushroom Broth gradually replenishes HP but also softens you. Mix a Slow Mushroom with a Gold Leaf. Fresh Juice cures conditions like poisoning and replenishes 5 FP, made by steeping honey syrup, so honey syrup by itself. Inky Sauce replenishes 30 FP. Mix hot sauce with the Turley Leaf. You will need actually 2 of these for 2 different recipes, so be sure to make 2 of these if you're doing all of the recipes, because you'll need both of them. Icicle Pop, 15 FP, but it can also freeze you sometimes when you eat it. Mix a honey syrup with an ice storm. 20 FP for the Zest Frappe, but it can also potentially freeze you. Mix a maple syrup with an ice storm. A Snow Bunny refills 15 HP, but can often freeze you after eating. Mix a Gold Leaf with an ice storm. Cocoa Candy, 3 HP and 15 FP, mixing a coconut with a Cake Mix. Honey Candy, 20 FP, by mixing a honey syrup with a Cake Mix. Jelly Candy, 64 FP, by mixing a jam and jelly with a Cake Mix. Electro Pop replenishes 15 FP and makes you electrified by mixing a Cake Mix and a Volt Shroom. Fire Pop, 20 FP, by mixing a Cake Mix with a Fire Flower. Space Food, 5 HP, which can give you very impervious to various status changes, mixing a dried bouquet with various foods, or you can sleep at the inn and Far Outpost and get one there, because you'll get one every single time. Another blank one right there. Trial Stew. This just says yields incredible results. I'm not quite sure what this one does, but it is made by mixing a couple's cake, which I already had, with the poison mushroom, which is a different recipe that you will also need the Inky Sauce for. Another blank one. Coconut Bomb, an explosive made by Zest Tea. Throw it to an attack an enemy. It'll do 7 damage, single target. Mix a coconut with a fire flower. You will need to keep one of these to make a different recipe in a second. The other one that you will also need with that recipe is the Egg Bomb. Throw it to attack an enemy, made by mixing a mystic egg with a fire flower. And then, of course, the last one is a mistake. Replenishes 1 HP and 1 FP. It's just by mixing 2 ingredients together that do not have any sort of compatibility. If you heard me go over any of those and went, wait a minute, I got that recipe and I did not combine the items that you just told me, multiple of these do have ways to make them. So it doesn't have to be specifically the one that I just listed. Those are just the ones that I used in order to make it. Looking at my list right here, and I'm actually going to switch my camera over so you can see it. There we go. Where are you? There you are. So here's a list of everything that I made. I'm not going to go over all the details again, but just if you need to pause it, you can see what it looks like right here. The big thing that I wanted to show on the bottom of this was just roughly how many ingredients I needed and why exactly that would not all fit, because you've only got 15 items in storage and 32. The cake mix alone I needed 9 of. So, like, obviously it was going to be a bit much. The ones that I have starred are just things of like, hey, you make this recipe, hang on to it. The big things that I used a bunch of were the cake mix. I needed 9 of those. The fresh pasta I needed 6 of. There's a couple 4s in here with the maple syrup, the ultra shrooms. I believe the Turley Leaf was 5. So this gives you a rough idea of the bigger items that you'll need a fair bit of, just so you're aware. I also think, yes. Yeah, I'm going to go back to that screen real quick, or go to a different window rather. This one right here, this is basically how I broke this up into making what I wanted to. This is all of like the extra ones that I did at the top, but this first section here in the middle, these are all ones that are done by making the cake mix. So I grabbed a bunch of cake mixes and then all the things that were compatible with that and did all these. Same thing going on here with the fresh pasta. Here was a couple that had like the maple syrup or shrooms. And then once I had what was left here, I kind of just searched through to see what there was a lot of. If I saw a couple horsetails, I would make the horsetail recipes. Just trying to do it in some semblance of an order, but that still does not mean that it's too terribly easy. But that said, we do still have 5 more recipes to go over. So let's do those now. Thankfully, for the remaining recipes, again, I have gathered all the ingredients, and they are sitting in my inventory right here. So these are the 5 recipes that I have left that required some sort of thing that I already mentioned in the recipe list to make. So we're going to get those done now. 2 items. Alright, first we're going to do the fresh pasta and one of the inky sauces. And that will give us the ink pasta, replenishes 10 HP and 30 FP. Second, we're going to use the Mystic Egg and the Mango Delight. And that will give us the wonderfully titled Love Pudding. Makes you invisible, electrified, or sleepy. Pretty sure sleepy's a bad status ailment. You're probably hoping for the invisibility, but you could just get the boost sheet item and not run that risk. Oh well, it's probably fine. Next, the inky sauce again, with a slow shroom, or slow mushroom rather. And that will give us a poison mushroom. A snack made by Zesty. Eat it and it'll poison you. So maybe you don't do that then. Yeah. This was the one that baffled me. The Zest Dinner mixed with a courage shell. I did not think there were any recipes that required a courage shell. But as it turns out, I was wrong. There is one. This is the only one, but there is one. There's probably other ones you can put it in. It was just, this was the only one that it required it. That's all I can say. I'm not sure why, but this is what came out. Whoa. See, even she doesn't know why. The Courage Meal, hard food made by Zesty. Throw it to attack an enemy. Oh, so it's an attack item. That makes a little bit more sense. And lastly, the 2 that I mentioned that you had to create. This is, I believe, the only meal where you have to combine 2 things that you already crafted together. So, like, merging, I guess, 4 items in total together. Which is the Egg Bomb and the Coconut Bomb. This should be a nice dish. Go on, take it. This will give you the Zest Dynamite. Blasting powder made by Zesty. Toss it to attack all foes. And with that, we have made all 58 recipes. There you go. That's every last one of them. I could have literally gone in, like, one by one, but I had a slow night at work last night, and so I was working on this. It took most of my, like, 9-hour shift, which, granted, it was probably closer to me working on it for, like, 4 or 5 hours, but that was just, like, categorizing and getting all the items and stuff. I figured this was going to be way faster, way more digestible. And if you're watching the recipe list as a guide, you're probably looking specifically for that video, so I felt like this was a fair enough balance to make. This guy actually sells jam and jellies and ultra mushrooms for pretty inexpensive. I could not get him for the life of me to give me more, because I was actually out of jam and jellies, so I went to the Rogueport sewers on the left side to pick these up, and they're 200 coins a hit. That's why my coin count is so low. But, that said, that is also why my coin count is so low, so now you know. I'm gonna grab this while we're in here, by the way. We haven't gone over this. Super Luigi, Book 1, super popular, now on sale. These are little things you can buy to follow through Luigi's adventures. I'm willing to bet if I left the area and came back, which I'll probably go ahead and do that. It should probably give me the second one. I don't remember how many books are in there, but if it says Volume 1, then there's obviously at least more than one. I want to say there's 3, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain. Oops, I'll check that email once I get back. I did get an email while I was out looking for items, but it was from one of the Trouble Center quests we did from Eve, where it was just thanking us for being like, I've taken some time to process, that kind of... Hey, here we go. Congratulations, you've learned all of Zesty's recipes. Her menu is now complete, and your meals can be mighty tasty and mighty, too. As proof of your efforts, we've sent you a special Reward the Cooking trophy. Check your useful items to admire it yourself or show it off to friends. You've earned the right to brag. Well, let's show it off and brag, then. Cooking trophy, a trophy given to those who have collected, or only to those who have collected every recipe. Well, there you go. Nice, they give you a little thing for it. I don't think that was in the original, actually. It was just that you got every recipe. You just did them all. There we go, there's the second book. Manager's Pick. I'll leave and come back one more time. There is a reason that I was going into the store. It's because even though I've crafted everything there, my inventory in the store is completely full. There are some excess items I had. I think I had an extra coconut. I had a couple of ultra shrooms that I had that were some extra ones. But I kept all of the items that I felt were going to be more useful. Some of the ones that I went over there in, like, the peach tart of, like, it just gives you a random status, like electrified or something like that. Those I didn't keep. I kept ones that I felt might actually be useful. If I didn't feel like it would be useful, then I just ultimately did not keep it. This month's bestseller. That'll be the only one I... Well, no, I guess I can't afford one more. I was going to say I can't afford any more of them, but I should be able to get one more if there is a fourth one. We'll go over the Luigi stuff in the post-game, if anybody's actually interested in seeing that. Between that and, like, actually talking to him about the little adventure that he goes on. It's an interesting story, but if you're playing the main game, you probably ultimately don't care. I know a lot of people said they wanted, like, a side spin-off of that, of maybe a smaller version of this game where you actually do get to save Princess Eclair from the Waffle Kingdom. There is a fourth one. The fan favorite. Really, Book 4 is the fan favorite. And a lot of people like Goblet of Fire. That appears that it's the only amount I'm going to get, because I am pretty much tapped for coins now. You can see I did buy a lot of items here, hence why my point value is so much higher. There is no reward, I don't believe, for 40 points. Yeah, so the only item that I was given was the Super Mushroom and maybe that Ice Storm. But, like I said, you're not going to hit these shop prizes, like the 300 points, unless you are actively trying for them. Because we're at the end of the game, and I didn't even get to the fourth one. So yeah, as you can see, most of my storage is nearly full here. So yeah, I had a couple leftover things up to about, yeah, here, and then the rest of these are all ones I kept. So I kept a fair few of these. Again, the ones that I thought would be at least decently helpful. And then there's a couple of other items in here. The first thing I'm going to do is store or sell a couple of these. I'm going to sell the Love Pudding and the Poison Mushroom. I don't think I'm going to need either of those. I'm curious to see how these will do, so I might keep these, but I'm definitely selling those other two. So let's start with that. Okay. Since we are now heading to the 1,000-year door, let's withdraw some items, and I'm going to be starting with these two life mushrooms for sure. Other than that, I'm going to go with things I think are useful. I kept a lot of, like, the medium flower points, but high HP ones, more so for my allies than myself. But even then, like, whatever works. I don't really care too much about charging. Like, that's just, like, an extra little bonus that's kind of nice, I guess, but I don't really need that, per se. Curing conditions like poisoning isn't too terribly helpful to me because I have Feeling Fine, the badge Feeling Fine equipped. But if you are worried about that, then maybe consider ones like this. I'm essentially going for things that I believe are basically going to be full heals. And ideally full heals for both health and for health and for FP. I think this is going to do. I think we've got a pretty good assortment of items, but I'm going to check real quick. I do want to leave one space open in case we find anything. Alright, so I've got 2 life shrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4 items of just, like, heal as needed. A couple of attack all ones. I might go ahead and get 15 items, and I might go get another one that I consider basically a full heal. I mean, we could do that, 40 FP and 40 HP. We're at the end of the game, so it's the point now of, like, where you can bring all your most powerful items. I know there is some post-game stuff we're going to do, and those bosses will probably be harder than the final boss, if the info that I've seen is any indication. But, that being said, we're going to treat it like it's the end of the game. So for the record, I think we are only going to be doing the end game tonight. I don't think we're going to be doing any of the post game. I might hop back into the world just to immediately see what pops up if they've got like any little dialogue bits here and there after the main story ends. But probably only going to do that tonight. I've got a convention that is coming up very soon on the 6th, and I've got some stuff that I need to prep and get ready for it. I'm working tonight, and then after that I'm off during the convention, so I've got a couple days beforehand. So that would give me 3 full days to get everything ready that I need to without having to worry about coming back to this. And then once that convention is done, then I'll come back to this and start working on the post-game. If I get all the stuff that I need to get done early, then maybe we'll come back and do 1 or 2 videos of the post-game. I'm expecting it will probably be 2, but do not quote me on that. One other thing, before we head in, the catalog is still not going to be finished yet because we're not going to do the Pit of 100 Trials until the post-game. There will be some stuff in this chapter, yes, so we'll get some, but not all. The remaining badges, most of those badges are going to be in this area. There's at least one, which I think is this one right here, which is Money Money, that will not be there. I might go and grab that after we're done here. That might be the one post-game thing I do, just because I know right where that is and how to get it. But we should be getting the rest of the badges. Yeah, we don't need any of this. Again, the recipes are done. We've picked up all the star pieces. We've picked up all the shine sprites. We're good to go. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 8th and final chapter of the game, the 1,000-Year Door. Welcome to what is behind the 1,000-Year Door, which I think I might have spoiled once or twice. The Palace of Shadow. Well, this place is nasty. We don't have a choice. We've got to cruise through and save Peach before this whole cataclysm happens. Come on, Gonzalez. Oh, yeah! But first and foremost, it's time for me to pull up a guide for the badges, just so I don't miss any here. So there are... Let's see, we'll try this. Nope, that one doesn't show where they are. This one has set location. Maybe there are only 2 in the Palace of Shadow. No, I don't think that's quite right. I know some of the badges we're missing, because how many are we missing total? We're missing 8. I do know some of them are in the Pit of 100 Trials, like Zap Tap is. So if we grabbed the 2 that they're saying in here, that would put us at 80, so we'd be missing 6. Money Money would mean that we're missing 5. So are we missing 5 badges? Is that actually right? Let me check. So Bump Attack, Double Dip. Oh no, that's just one of the options. Bump Attack. Lucky Day. There are other spots you can get that, but it's usually matching the numbers in the Lucky Lottery. Pity Flower. Return Postage. And Zap Tap. Okay, so there are 5 badges there. Oh, there's some unreleased badges here. Interesting. Okay, so only 2 badges here. But yeah, interesting. There's a couple of unused badges. Maybe we'll go over those in a little bit. Once we're done the main game while I'm picking up Money Money or something. Or heading on the way over there. Didn't know about those. It's mostly like stuff that Mario can get that the partner could have also gotten. Like Zap Tap partner, stuff like that. So not terribly surprising, but kind of cool. It's always cool being in areas like the Palace of Shadow, just because I know for a fact this would be the area that, as many times as I've played this game, this is probably the area that I've seen the least, because it's the last part of the game, so any unfinished runs, obviously, I would not have made it this far for any of those. This is probably what I think it is. It's a Swoopula. Oh, it's not. Never mind. I saw one of the enemies called the Swampire, and it said that, they can drop one of the 2 badges. I think it was the All or Nothing badge, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they could drop those, but you can also just find it in here in a box. An airborne blood-sucking bat-like thing. Max HP is 9, attack is 4, defense is 0. As if losing HP wasn't bad enough, this little creep adds yours to its own. How totally gross. Don't let it bite me, Mario. Bite, bite. Yeah, they're not anything too terribly bad. Oh, Fright Mask. That's, getting thrown away. Ah, hit the button too late. I should have just gone up and hit it. I was waiting for it to, like, recognize that I was there, but oh well. I don't remember the bats having this much health, but it's ultimately not that big a deal. Plus, they don't have any defense, so not too bad. So going into this with getting level ups throughout going through this, because unsurprisingly, as this is the final dungeon, it is rather long, and it's going to have enemies that will actually drop a fair few star points. The big goal, predominantly, is to get feeling fine on my partner, and theoretically, maybe the Power Plus partner badge, but this also might be the point where I start using some of those HP and FP Plus badges, specifically for the final boss, simply due to how much damage that final boss does. Because it means that even with guarding against it, I might potentially, even at full health, get killed in one shot. And obviously I don't want that to happen. There we go, that's more like it. But I am going to basically be fighting everything in here to grab as many levels as I can before getting to that point. If not for the final boss, then definitely for the bonus bosses later on. Because we are definitely going to need them for those. I don't know what the average level of people that have beaten those bosses are. But I imagine the more levels you have, the better off you're going to be. I don't care about that item. Why is that even in the final dungeon? Like, really? Like, yeah, the eliminating their defense, that's nice and all, sure, but you should have some defense-piercing attacks already. If not, you're doing something wrong. Just gonna go ahead and get this first one out of here. I know he can come back to life, but the actual dry bones, just the proper one. It was all the way down here. That's a dry bones. It's a former Koopa whose spirit animates its bones. Eek, that's freaky. Max HP is 8, attack is 5, defense is 2. When its HP goes down to 0, it collapses into a pile, but it'll eventually rise again. Fire and explosions will put a permanent end to it getting back up, though. A dry bones will sometimes build friends if it feels it's outnumbered. If you don't take them all out close together, they'll just keep coming back. Let's wipe them all out at once and quick. These things freak me out. You gonna build a friend? You gonna do that? No, you're just gonna throw a bone. Okay. Let's see how it is. There should be plenty of damage. Probably gonna be like 5. Oh no, it's just enough, but it'll still work. So hopefully everybody is doing well today. Today is June the 2nd, 2024. It is definitely starting to get hot, and it's probably because my AC is starting to go. I was going to go into my, go and talk to my apartment manager about it on Friday, and then, lo and behold, they did not show up into the office on Friday. And they're not open on the weekends, so I couldn't go Saturday, and I could not go Sunday, which is today. So I'll have to go tomorrow, and I need to get that done. And by I need to get that done, I mean they need to get that done, because It's gonna only be getting hotter as the summer goes on. It's about 91 Fahrenheit right now, but it's set to be in the next 2 days a high of over 100 out here. And since I'm going to be in VR during the weekend, which means, you know, there's going to be a lot of heat and stuff running in here, and it's not supposed to be, thankfully, that bad in the weekends, not as much as it is Monday or Tuesday. But that's still no reason that I can't have working AC. Like, my shower's already not great, and my dishwasher straight up backs up like old dishwasher fluid slash, you know, like used dishwater. So I don't feel like asking for a working AC is unreasonable, considering that I have other things in this apartment that do not work that they've known about. You'll be fine, Mario. It might not be a bad idea for me to swap out Happy Flower with Happy Heart. Just so that I can be consistently regaining those points back, because I'm not using FP all that much right now. Boo Sheet. That is actually a not terrible item. That one I could consider keeping. I guess probably the ink pasta, ultimately. We'll do that. Like, the health is nice, but being completely immune to all attacks for multiple turns is extremely good. They said explosions were pretty good, and this feels like high time to do just that. It burns a lot of FP, but there were 4 of them there. Like, that would have taken a hot minute. Eat that, I guess. Sure. We do need to fight those. Yeah, we'll go ahead and switch into... Well, actually, you know what? We could probably just fight the... nah, just to make absolutely sure. Oh, first strike kills them. Okay. If we jump on them, does that... Oh, that also kills them. Alright, we'll just go to the cannons then, I guess. I know these guys aren't super strong, like they're bullet bills. They're designed to kamikaze into you, but I didn't think first strike would kill them. It's a very low HP pool. It's probably like 4, I guess. 4 or 5. Let's find out. Oh, 3, even less. Okay. That's a Bombshell Bill. These things are repeatedly shot out by Bombshell Bill blasters. Max HP is 3, attack is 6, defense is 2. Its attack is high, but its HP is low, so you need to take it out before it takes you out. Then again, if you focus on these guys, you'll never win. Smack that Bombshell Bill blaster. Well, if we were fighting one of those, I would agree with you, but we're not. So we'll just defeat one and guard the other one. Those hit pretty hard, even if you do block them correctly. Preferred FP in that instance, but okay. Let's see how much health these have. I'm gonna guess somewhere between 8 and 10. There we go, 10. That's a Bombshell Bill blaster. It fires Bombshell Bills. Makes sense, right? Max HP is 10, defense is 4. It's really, really tough. Yeah, hard to hurt this guy. Thing is, if you don't take it out, it'll keep shooting Bombshell Bills at you. So you gotta figure out a way to beat it, and fast. Well, when in doubt, raw damage. And yeah, it'll keep firing the Bombshell Bills, but we can just use Gabella to take those out. Nice. So yeah, as you can see by going through here, we haven't even gone that far. A lot of extra tattling here that will be done. I don't need that Volt Mushroom, thanks. So we should have a good chunk. Again, not all, but a good chunk of what we'll be missing. Speaking of what we're missing, the All or Nothing badge. Boost attack by properly executing action commands. If you fail, it drops to 0. So if you're very good at your action commands, with timing your jumps and with your hammers, this is a pretty good badge because it ups your damage by 1 and it does not cost a lot of BP to use. There we go. Good grief, that guy would not get over here. It's just a single bat by itself. No wonder it didn't want to come over here. How much does the All or Nothing badge cost? 4? Yeah, that's not bad. Like, upping your damage by 1 to do that for free costs 6, so this one's 4. I thought it was less than that. I thought it was 3 or maybe even 2, but I guess not. This room's not too terribly bad. I would recommend getting rid of the enemies just so they're not in your way while you're trying to avoid the spikes that'll pop up right in front of you. Other than that, it's not too bad. Really quickly, let me double check where the other, I'm pretty sure it's much later on, but I want to make sure that I'm not, or at least know what I'm looking for. Nope, that's not it. Okay. That's what I'm looking for, at least. I'm pretty sure it's much later on, though, the remaining one that we're going to be getting. Which, fittingly enough, is actually a badge that we're using, but it'll be a partner version of that badge. Yeah, that's why you don't want to get hit by those. It's less the damage, and them sending you back to start. This might actually be the one instance, too. Since nobody ever uses this normally, might as well. This might be the one instance where Slogo is actually handy. Just the one guy again? Yep, just the one. Yeah, that pretty much confirms to me that they're just there to try to make you mess up and hit the spikes by either forgetting where they were or moving too quickly to try to dodge them. So yeah, just kill them. They're not that bad. Alright, all clear. One thing I will give the Palace Shadow, it's very good about giving you pretty consistent save blocks. I don't remember if this was a thing in this one or if this is just in original Paper Mario. You could jump over these enough to make them disappear, but it looks like it's not disappearing, so it might be going faster, but even if it is, and it is doing it, it's taking a very long time, so I don't want to wait for that, so I'm not going to. I'm actually going to intentionally fail that because I don't want that guy to die, because we haven't tattled these yet. That is a Phantom Ember. It's an angry spirit born of hatred and confusion. So I'm not too cool with this thing. Max HP is 10, attack is 5, defense is 0. You'll take damage if you touch it, and something even worse will happen if you attack it with fire. Also, if it attacks you, you might catch on fire, so try to guard well. Let's send the school back to the grave, okay? Well, luckily, we've got the ability to jump on those without worrying. So So yeah, not too terribly bad. Decent HP pool, but no defense, so not too hard to get rid of. Oh hey, I didn't know that boost sheet was there. Don't send me back to the start. Is there anything I'm willing to drop for that? I mean, I already have a fair few, but again, it cannot be understated how good these are. I think I'm actually going to drop the shooting star. As nice as it is to do the multi-target damage on all enemies. Unfortunately, 6 health or 6 damage per enemy just kind of isn't going to cut it most of the time these days. You'd have to do something that multi-targets that does the partial damage you need, and then finish them off with shooting star, so like Quake Hammer shooting star, something like that. I think this room might have the hidden badge in it, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna double check that. That's just the name of it. I would like to know where it is. No, that's the normal one. I'm looking for the partner one. Before the room that... Okay. So if this is the right one, we'll know. Hello? Hello? Hi. None shall pass by. Let those who would disturb our sleep fall into the depths of eternal darkness. Yeah, that's nice. Alright, let's get them. Oh, you brought some friends. That's nice. And a lot of them have items. That's a lot less nice. Yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. Zest Dynamite. $7 enemies. That's not bad. I'm going to tattle that guy in a second, but right now we definitely need to get rid of all of the other enemies there. Now we can see what's going on with this guy. I think this one actually like does qualify as a boss. Like he's got a decent amount of health, like 20. Oh, good guess. That's a Dark Bones. It's the baddest of the Bones gang. Max HP is 20, attack is 5, defense is 2. When its HP goes down to 0, it'll collapse into a pile, but it will eventually rise again. Fire and explosions will put a permanent end to it getting back up, though. Its HP is high, so it's hard to take it down. Like any other Bones, it sometimes builds friends and feels outnumbered. It's a pretty tough enemy. You better take it and its buddies out all at once. Yeah, I might end up using Bob-Bombast here. But I think I can actually just, like, get him by doing this. I could have just done a normal jump, but that's okay. We're pretty close to level regardless, so it's all good. There we go. Ooh, I like how that key looks. Mostly because it's purple. Got a palace key. Key for the door in the Palace of Shadow. Let's do it. Ultra Shroom, or Ultra Mushroom, rather. Yeah, we'll hang on to that. We've got the space now. Hey, there we go. That's what I want to see. But depending on how many star points I get here, ultimately I may not need the FP recovery. I might get it at the end of the fight anyway. Well, maybe not. I thought they'd drop more star points than that. I mean, since the regular ones could get killed by a first strike, I didn't exactly expect them to drop any star points. Nope, don't need that, thanks. It's like, what a dick. The fate of the world's at stake. Could you not? Like... if a jump could get rid of this, since it does multi-hit. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get it with the hammer anyway, that would have left it with one. I could have power smashed it, but I want to keep the FP for the one fight left that I'll have probably before a level. For long dungeons like this, I do recommend... Oh, well thanks, it's a bit late for the attack boost though. I do recommend like having a lot of stuff that you can just use to automatically restore HP or FP, whether you're building a high HP or FP build or both or neither, just because that's giving you resources back, so you're probably going to want that. The alternative is using an item, which is going to be harder to get back. You'll get some items in here, but it may not necessarily be the same ones you gave up. The other option is just managing your star power, which is a little bit more doable, because you can get your star power back pretty easily. What to do here? We're probably just okay to... Yeah, we're okay to go crazy on this one, because we'll get everything back. Good, because I timed that very wrong. I'm glad he missed. Alright, excellent. Another level, you know what's gonna happen. You know. You already know. If I wanted to be funny, I would have gone back to the guy that could switch around your stats and actually remove the 5 FP that Chris chose in part 1. But I'm actually okay with 10 FP. Even if I did switch it to BP, I would probably just put on an FP plus badge. So I'm actually okay with upgrading that. Because we're also using an HP plus upgrade, or not HP plus badge, rather. So, in a sense, we've also upgraded that once. I feel like, at least for the main run of the game, not counting the super bosses, this feels like a pretty decent amount to be at, barring the final bosses, just 10 flower points and 15 health, and just dump everything else into other badges. Speaking of other badges, though, I did say that I was going to equip some stuff. I'm going to start with Feeling Fine Partner, and I'll leave us with one more, but I also do not want my partners to get poisoned or dizzied or any of those other status effects, and I know in particular with the final boss that can happen a fair bit, so I do want to avoid that for sure. I am leaning towards, since we already have a kind of high evasion build, I'm going to lean towards Close Call for now. That will probably get removed later on anyway, but I'm going to go with Close Call for now. Let's see, we've already got 3 pretty luckies stacked on, and then that close call as well. So, like, enemies have a pretty good chance to just miss altogether, even if I don't have, like, an evasion cape or anything like that on. Still very surprised this can get knocked out by a first strike. I'd figure they'd just be a tiny bit too strong to succumb to that, but I'll take it. Sure, why not? We'll get half of this back here because we've got the FP restoration thing going on. Stylish command for that is a lot later than I thought it would be. Oh, that's alright. Also, I am aware we have not shown off the last Crystal Star Power, the Supernova one. I'm sure at some point it will come up where there's just going to be like a really weird combination of enemies that have pretty high health, where just nothing else is going to be too terribly effective. So I would wager we are probably going to see it at some point here. Even if we don't see it in the main game, almost assuredly somewhere in the Pit of 100 Trials we are going to end up seeing it. So don't worry about it too much. I don't think anybody was, but for the record, don't worry about it too much. FP, FP, yes! There's a reason that I wanted to see that. This was the reason. Also, there's that other badge back here. I couldn't remember if the badge, like the actual box for the badge, was hidden or not, but it would appear that it is not, so that's good news. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that last guy, unfortunately. I do wish that there was like a Spike Shield partner and a, whatever the other equivalent is of making it so that your partner could not be damaged by fire. Stuff like this is why I consider Koops to not be... Because some people will just consider Koops to be the worst party member overall because he's got the lowest health pool, but like, A, he's got a point in defense, which actually does count for a lot in this game. Even that 1 point can mean quite a bit. And 2, he can hit a lot of enemies if they're ground enemies that other characters just simply either can't hit or at the very least can't hit with their basic attack because it would just damage them instead. Power Punch! I would like to keep the Power Punch, actually. So I'm going to follow my own advice and I'm going to drop that Shooting Star. I'm going to take this, the P-Up D-Down Partner Badge. Boost a partner's attack by 1, but also boost the damage taken by 1. Definitely one that I will be considering here in the future now that the Feeling Fine part has been taken care of. FP... Nope, HP. Oh well. You know what? Now's as good a time as any, I suppose. Slice through the screen to do massive damage to all enemies. Supernova. Just mash A. If you're good at mashing A, good news for you. Do it all correctly, 15 across the board. Doesn't matter their defense, I'm pretty sure it pierces defense. Well, actually, I know it does because the Dry Bones had defense. Pierces defense, doesn't matter if they're flying. Just a very good ability to wipe out all of your on-screen enemies type of thing. That's not what I'm gonna do. And 10, 20 and 20. We'll do 30 and 10, I guess. Does anybody need that health? Not really, no. I might drop that again. It's going to depend on what is in here. Nope, I'm going to keep that shooting star. I don't really need the ice storm. I know there's fire enemies in here, but I just don't feel like the bonus that you get from fire or from the ice really is enough to matter. So I'm not going to worry about it. That was not who I meant to switch to. You know what, we'll keep Vivian out. I meant to switch to Gumbella, you know, for tattling purposes, but we have quick change, so no big deal. Yeah, this is the loop, the room that loops around itself. So the key here, for those not in the know, is one of the torches will be lit. It can potentially, much like when you're flying, keep in mind that the closest exit may be behind you. But yeah, you're just looking for the torch that's lit, and then you just go into that room. So you may not get the same pattern that I'm doing, and it might seem like you're just going around in a loop, but as long as you're following that, then you should be good to go. There was a puzzle like this in the first Paper Mario game as well. The only difference is it gave you the correct direction of like up, down, down, up, down, up, down, whatever it was, before going into the set of rooms, and you just had to remember which was which. If you do get lost for whatever reason, or more importantly, just need to go backwards, just keep going into the left door, the bottom left door, and eventually it will spit you back out. I always love it when it does that, of like, you go through a door and then you come out the other side and you just have to turn right back around and go in there. I should have checked the Happy Lucky lottery, but you know what? Maybe we'll do that if I remember to, whenever we get back after the postgame. To go grab that Money badge. It's a bit of a shame the Money badge is after the main game, but I mean, like, other than me grabbing all the recipe items, I wasn't really hurting for money. I could have always done that afterwards anyway. So big, almost like an underground city. What is this place? I love this area, by the way. It's super cool, because remember, this is like the town that got washed away or flooded or whatever, so it quite literally is, or was, a town at one point. It just looks super pretty. Kind of following that general archetype of the lost city of Atlantis, you know, where they were, like, supposed to be very technologically advanced for their area, or for their era, rather. And so as a result of that, of course, everything looks super sophisticated, even for an ancient city. Except for that statue that fell in the water. That's not so much. I believe there was a Bark. Hello, Bark. Not do a lot of damage. That's alright, we'll figure something out. But first, Bella, if you would be so kind as to tell us about the almighty Lord and Savior Bark. Also known as just a good old-fashioned chain chomp. First time seeing these too. That's a chain chomp. I'd hate to get chomped by those teeth. They look nasty. Max HP is 7, attack is 6, defense is 5. Hiccups. Its body is hard, so most attacks won't do much. Plus, you can't damage it with fire or ice attacks. Luckily, it's got low health, so you could take it down with a special move or an item. Chain chomps are, like, so super pumped all the time. Don't they ever get tired? I guess they don't. Now's a decent enough time to use the shooting star. Otherwise, it's going to be that item I keep trying to juggle, so it'll work here. Enemies like the chain chomps are actually where Miss Mouse excels, because for those that do not remember, Ms. Mal's regular attack pierces defense. In fact, I'm going to show that right now. I'm going to switch to Mario and Appeal first to get some star power back, and then I'll let Ms. Mal's do her thing. I do wish her max health was higher than 25. I feel like 35 would be reasonable. I get, you know, like, Thief, supposed to be speedy, so not going to be too terribly high in, like, the defense department, but still. See? 6 damage. She did more than Bobbery with her main attack by a fair bit, by double. So yeah, that defense piercing is very good. If you're having trouble with those high defense enemies, you just don't have enough power. Look for your defense piercing stuff. Koops' Shell Slam, his final ability, will do that too, but it will use up a fair bit of FP. Ms. Mouths will just be able to do that completely for free. I guess I didn't really need to do that, but it's fine. No, Bobbery won't do as much damage to the Bark, but Ms. Mouths can't really get a first strike with her ability by doing this, so... Alright, what are we gonna do here? This might not be a bad time for the stopwatch if it works. Oh nice, it totally did. Perfect. They look so adorable like that. I love it. I'm not sure how much this is going to do specifically. Oh no, it still does full damage. Okay. Quake Hammer is another option. Since these guys are frozen for the meantime, I'm going to go slow and not waste my FP any more than I just did. B, I'm going to try to work on getting some of my star power back here. I don't think it's going to occur right at this moment, but there will be a boss fight in this room, so you're definitely going to want that. And I think there's a boss fight between then and now as well. So bear in mind, they are coming. We've got one more turn here. Let's just keep getting that star power back up. I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but it always felt like it in the original game, and seeing the crowd that's full of mostly Toads right now, I'm inclined to believe the same, is that just some audience members will give you more stars than others, and I think Toads are one of the ones that give you a lot. So if you see an audience of a lot of Toads and you've been thinking about, hey, I need to refill my star gauge, that might be your best opportunity to do so. I can't confirm that outright, I've never looked up anything about that, but it feels like that's true. We got almost most of our star gauge back from that fight. There's a save block, but I'm going to quickly do a little peek around here. I don't think there's anything. I think the way forward is locked, correct? No, it's not. Okay. Not that the way forward is what we're about to unlock here. You have to throw him in the depth perception. There we go. I don't think you had to do that in the original. I think you just had to, like, have him explode somewhere near the pipe, and it would still count. That door locked? No, that door's not locked either. Well, you do have to go through both ways, but now I'm not sure which way is the dead end and which is the right way forward. I'm gonna look at a guide just to make sure that I don't, like, go one way and then just have to turn right back around and go back the other way. No, not the tower, just in particular. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so you do head to the right first. Cool, just making sure. I mean, I've already played the game, so it's not really spoilers for what's coming up, I already know, but I did want to be sure of, like, yeah, you're not going to go to the north and, like, try to solve all these additional puzzles and then just have to turn right back around and go the other way anyway. So yeah, you do head to the right. We'll come back to this room, like I said. And I knew we were coming back, I just didn't know which order things were. I'm surprised that guy let me get a first strike on him. He kind of just let me do it. It shouldn't be too terribly hard to take out. I don't think this is a Yux. I think this is different from a Yux. So I don't think we have to wait for it to, like, pop in any items. I think it's like a whiz something. Yep, wizard. Dark wizard. Spelled differently than normal. That's a dark wizard. It's a part machine, part organic, centuries-old thing. Max health is 10, attacks 5, defense is 2. Uses magic to attack and to alter your condition, so stay on guard. If there's only one left, it will multiply itself to confuse you. I know they look totally goofy, but they're actually pretty tough enemies. They do look a bit dumb, yeah. Yeah, they'll do that whole thing of when they're by themselves, they'll duplicate some fake ones. If they do that, just use something that targets all enemies, and that will guaranteed hit them. It will get rid of the clones, and then you can focus either your party member or yourself on damaging whichever one's left. Same as a lot of enemies did back in the original one by this point, like the Crystal King, the boss of Chapter 7, who's one of my favorite one-off enemies in any Mario game, period. Loved that boss fight. That one was like super challenging as a kid, and it's still pretty decently hard now. That one and Huff Puff, I'd argue, are even harder than the final boss, which is the Chapter 6 boss. But I'd argue they're harder than that. Hey, I spy a badge. I do kind of want to grab that. Don't ask me how I managed to get that in like an obscenely tiny window there of getting that correct. I don't have an answer. I might look up and see what that trial stew does, just because genuinely I do not know what it does. It still wasn't enough. Okay. I thought that was going to be just enough, but nope, it was just shy. That's weird. It looked like it was panning out to the audience. I was trying to figure out what's going on. Ah, that's why you were panning out to the audience. Knock that off. You jackass. Alright, I think I can get these guys, though. This shouldn't be too hard between Quake Hammer and Ms. Mouse's defense piercing. They do give pretty good EXP, though. I mean, 4 at this point for me is... yeah, it's not bad. Before I go into that room... Nah, I don't really have anything to deal with that all too well. Oh well. It's probably fine. Unless there's like an item or something that's gonna be in here at some point. Any other enemies? Hello? What is this? Thanks, but I don't really need that. I guess I'll hang on to it. Again, an Ice Storm is kind of poopy at this point. Like, 3 damage to all enemies. Yeah. Even the fire ones here, it's not gonna cut it. Especially if it's not just one by itself, it's just gonna immediately end the fight. I feel like at most at that point, all that would do is just, if you had the refund badge, you could get the item and then use the item and get a couple extra coins, but like, it's probably not your priority. Pretty good, 7 damage. If I use that P up D down, I could get it to 8. Ouch. 68, about 2/3 the way there. Okay. More coins, sure. I'll take it. I can never tell if that also increases like the amount of hearts or flowers. In particular, if you have Happy Heart or Happy Flower, if it increases the amount you get there threefold. I don't think it does, but I'm not really sure. Couldn't tell you. What I could tell you is it's time for a boss fight, hence why that save block was there. Who are you? Look familiar? It's the sound of a soda can opening. The horror, right? Don't worry, that's some good ASMR. I'm pretty sure a soda can opening is like one of people's favorite sounds. It's like up there with like bowling pins getting knocked over by a bowling ball and like the cracking sound of a baseball bat. It's so good. No one's disturbed me here in eons. Who dares defile this sacred place? Isn't that Hooktail, dear? I thought you beat Hooktail. What's she doing here? What? You destroyed my precious younger sister. I wondered why she hadn't written recently. Quake and fear mortals, for I am Gloomtail. I will avenge my sister by taking her lives and then gnawing on your bones. Hopefully you don't have that, like, foot fetish thing going on that she did. That was a bit weird. Not gonna lie. I mean, everybody's got their own interests, I think is the nice way to say kinks. But, like, you don't have to share them with everyone, you know? I guess, to be fair, she thought she was going to win that fight, and so it was like, mentioning it's no big deal because that person's going to be dead in 5 minutes anyway, so... I guess that's fair. Alright, the fight with Gloomtail. Let's learn a bit about him, shall we? That's Gloomtail. I think he's Hooktail's brother. I see the family resemblance. Max HP is 80, attack is 8, defense is 2. He'll bite or stomp you, and he may also breathe poison on you. Great. Once HP gets low, he may throw in some other attacks as well. Wouldn't surprise me. Especially watch out for his Mega Breath move, because the word is it's gnarly. He also stores power for some attacks, so use Vivian to avoid those. Not a bad idea. Some pretty good advice there. This isn't the boss in particular that I was thinking of like, hey, you really want the Feeling Fine badge? But because he can do Poison Breath, yeah, I would still recommend it for sure. I feel like she'll do okay damage. 6? Yeah, that's not bad. I'll take 6. This might not be a bad time to throw on that Power Punch, to be honest with you. I might do that. Ouch! I'm gonna swap to Bobbery just because of his truckload of health here, but I am gonna go ahead and use that Power Punch. Because I'm out of FP and I still want to do high damage, so this is a good way to do that without having to spend the FP for a couple turns. And in the meantime, I'll be able to figure out what to do about getting my FP back. Well, I don't really need that, but sure, we'll get rid of this. You're tough meat, my tasty little morsels, but how will you fare against this? Pretty poorly, considering I guarded it way too early, but it still gave it to me. And 15. There we go, perfect. Get Mario back to full, get my FP back up, and I can Power Smash while also boosted by Power Plus. Let's see you block this motherfucker. Alright. Let's just see how his normal attack does, I guess. Yeah, 6. That's not bad. That's pretty solid for just a single one-hit attack. Forgot to do the Power Smash, but that's okay. Oh, again, huh? Alright, that was fast. Figured I might try for it that time to get Bobbery's health back. hopefully just the general luck will make up for how, even though the Magnus Von grapple fight wasn't, like, impossible, the fact that the fog saved him for 3 turns from my, like, crazy hard attacks. I'll show you the true extent of my power. There we go, there's the +8. So since, of course, that is happening, it did say use Vivian to hide, but that's not going to stop me from getting an attack off of him first. And we'll swap to Vivian. I think we've done Veil before, I'm pretty sure. Press the buttons in the order as they appear on screen. I'm pretty sure it only ever does A and B, I think. I'm like 90% sure about that. Mega Breath. Blah. Yeah, that would have hurt. Do you understand my true power now? Yeah, I was watching it from underneath the stage. How can this be? Just try to bite. You know what, since you're out here, finish him off, Viv. Nothing like a good old Falcon punch. I mean, it is a punch that sets them on fire, so, you know. No, is it true? Can I expire? Well, we all can, really. You put up a good fight, though. Give credit, Steve. He only gives 50 coins? What? I know he's not a chapter boss, but come on, man. I have a little bit more respect for Gloomtail than that. Yeah, that went pretty well. I approve, and much like with his sister, so he too also has something hidden inside of him. But of course, rather than it being the crystal star, it is a star stone, a strange star-shaped stone. We'll be needing that. I don't want to like beat him up, but does he do anything? No. I'm sorry for beating you up. You look very nice. I mean, I'm a sucker for black and purple, so. I don't actually believe that he or Hooktail die. We never showed it, but if you go back to Hooktail's castle, after defeating Hooktail in Hooktail's room, before starting the next chapter, so like, right after it cuts back to Mario and Koops is like, yeah, I'm gonna leave with Mario. If you go back to the castle then, your party members will comment of like, hey, where did Hooktail go? Like, Hooktail's not here anymore, but bodies don't disintegrate that quickly. It's been less than a day. So it implies that, of course, Hooktail woke back up from consciousness and left. Same thing with Gloomtail. So if you feel bad about defeating it, just know that that both of them probably did in fact survive. They might have been defeated in battle, but they did not die. How are we doing overall? We got 93 points. I feel like I'm okay to hold on. Well, how much money do we have? Oh, we have plenty of money now. Yeah, I'm not going to feel bad about using the little thing then. Let's do it. I was thinking we were sitting at about 100 coins, not 300 coins. Yeah, we'll be A-O good. Let's also save. Now we move on to more of the puzzle element of the Palace of Shadow. With going into this area here. This reminds me a lot of the Tower of the Gods from Wind Waker. Not just because of the boating thing of like, that's the only dungeon where you actually do need to use the King of Red Lions. Just something about the way it looks. The Palace of Shadow Tower. God, the stars on the floor are so pretty. This definitely reminds me of, and I'm willing to bet at least one other person had like the little stars that you would stick on your ceiling as a kid that were the glow-in-the-dark stars. Now I kind of want to buy some of them. I kind of want to go get some. we do need to go to the top, because I think the Starstone, yes, it's put right here. Mario, look at that! Yeah! It's very pretty looking. What is it? It's a science. Ah, the fabled 8 pillars. More importantly, it also unlocks all the doors down here. 8 doors, 8 keys. I think you know where this is going. We'll start with the second floor. Why not? So all these, of course, have puzzles inside of them, and not all of them necessarily are ones that you can solve your first time through. You might have to go through other doors. Carrying the lore of the sky, let fall the weakest, then build to the strongest. This is the strongest. I do not want to be in this fight. I think these are pretty easy to run away from, though, like they intentionally make them that way. And they gave me a pretty good amount of space there, knowing that, like, hey, you're not fleeing because you don't think you can win, but you're fleeing because you actually did not mean to get into that fight. First two I didn't even have to beat with a actual fight. And of course it's just the one. So yeah, it's the ones that you see in Hooktail's Castle, the kind of like off-color green dry bones, then the red bones, which is actually more so pink, then of course the proper dry bones, which you're seeing right now, and then last but not least, the one that actually had a pretty good chunk of health, the blue one, the final one. This is one of the easier puzzles. I don't remember which door has which puzzle, but this is definitely one of the easier ones for sure. I'm kind of surprised that the dry bones enemies are ones that are able to catch fire. Not complaining, just surprised. Oh well. Let's get him. And of course, that's it. Also, I guess that goes to prove, yes, you can kill the easier ones of the first strike, and it will still give it to you. You don't have to, like, enter the fight proper, quote-unquote. It'll still work. Got a tower key! You'll be seeing a lot of those, because they're all going to look the same. What's behind door number 2? I think this is the one with the blocks, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, so as you, there'll be a one like this just below here. By skill and might engraved in stone. 4 stones, twin rooms. 1 is 2, 2 are 1. These red blocks were ones that you could break in the original Paper Mario using the Ultra Hammer, but those do not work here. There is no upgrade to the hammer. This is as high as it goes. But by destroying that one stone block that we did, and going downstairs, which I believe the same room space-wise, which is going to be this back left one here, it will have destroyed the corresponding stone that is in the way there. We can destroy that one, and destroy this one. That's going to tell you the exact same thing on that back wall there. Each of them give you, like, little hints. I think they're pretty good in difficulty for the hints. They give you a pretty good idea, but they're not just openly being like, hey, this is what you outright need to do. Most of them are pretty easy, but you might get stumped on a few of them. But this was the puzzle in particular I was thinking of when I said you're not going to be able to get through a puzzle on your first go-through in the room every single time, necessarily. This one you had to come back. There was no way to get up here otherwise. Alright, back downstairs we go. I would attempt to keep them in some semblance of order, but since I feel like those two rooms are linked together, it's fair to do both of them at the same time. So we'll just not have to worry about that back left room when we come down here to the first floor. Let's have a little peek. Have a little peek inside. What's going on over here? Temperature-wise, it's lowered a bit. It's gone from 91 to 89. Not a lot, but every bit helps. Usually about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon is typically the hottest point in the day at this time of year. It's 7:30 now, so the worst part of it is over at least. I might have to do some test runs, though, if my AC doesn't get fixed soon to see how much audio the box fan will pick up. If my pop filter can do enough work, then I would appreciate just not having to worry about having those on. Carrying secrets from on high. Straight on, straight onward. Destroy what lies in your path. This wall lies in my path. Away with you. Tower key. And lastly, on the second floor, the shy one hides their shape, the shy one hides their face. All I gotta do is hide with Vivian for a little bit. We've seen that a couple times before, like with the ghost, with the fake zip toad that Dupless was pretending to be, all that. I feel like not counting having the Yoshi to run around, which kind of just will always be the most useful. I feel like the one you get the most mileage out of, probably overall, if it's not Koops, is probably Vivian, honestly. It's probably the Veil, to be able to hide from things. The 7 hewn by a fail hand. Onward, onward, onward. Retreat, retreat. Onward, onward, onward. Retreat, retreat. Because retreating would be to go back towards the door. So that's why retreating is the other one, and onward is going forward. So since it said onward 3 times and retreat twice, you hit that one 3 times, and the one on the right to retreat twice. That one might be one of the... It's not super difficult or anything like that, but that might be one of the ones that doesn't give the best hint in the world, or not the easiest to understand. But it's not too bad. All you can see isn't all there be. Touch it to pass through it. Yeah, it's a fake wall, ain't it? Oh, that's cool, that little effect there. I like that. Is the whole wall? Yeah, the whole wall's a fake. I thought it was just a specific spot. It's a cool effect. And the original, you just pass through it. They didn't do that little lighting effect or anything. Feared far and wide across the land, the unseen may yet be felt, be it here, be it there. Yeah, I think you can bump into that, and that's how you realize, like, hey, there's supposed to be something here. That's when you use Flurry. She's probably the party member that gets the least use outside of battle, except for maybe Goombella if you're not trying to, you know... If you don't need all the info dump, then you can just skip that, but... I always felt like Flurry got more use of being able to use that power than... she actually does. She doesn't seem to get to use it too terribly often, actually. Not outside of her chapter, anyway. And even in her chapter, she doesn't get to use it too much. Alright, that is all 8 of the keys. Let's go put them in all the locks. Thankfully, it does not matter which key goes into which pillar. Any of them will do. I feel like one of those puzzles got changed, because I swear in the original there was one of, like, it said something to the equivalent of, like, you can't do this puzzle until you've cleared the other 7. Like, you have to come back to this one after you've beaten the other 7. And then it was just hit the switch when you've cleared all other 7. But maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Lucky last. Stars up in the heavens shone, carrying the lore of the sky, carrying secrets from on high, by skill and might engraved in stone. Stones to rival the celestial spheres, the 7 hewn by a fell hand, feared far and wide across the land, master of shadow, queen of fear. It's a nice ABBA pattern there. I appreciate poetry. Awful at writing it. Awful at writing it. Just not my forte. And back towards the right. Or is it going to do something else? Yeah. Back towards the right, where we fought Gloomtail to get that sunstone. Where we had those 3 hallways that were just empty. Yep, they're not empty now. Love that pattern on the wall. Again, it looks like that glow-in-the-dark kind of green color. Looking around like a chimpanzee. What was that? That was me going to check to see exactly how hot it is getting in here, because I am a bit curious, because it is definitely feeling warm. Maybe it's just I'm near all the heat. Like I expected it to be hotter than it actually showed on there. I usually keep my AC set to 70. It's currently 76. I would have thought a little bit higher than that. It felt closer to 80, but maybe it's just because the current's not going in here. But yeah, that will have to get fixed tomorrow. I'll have to sit in their office and just, like, complain to them over and over until they go fix it. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to try to boat. I believe before you head off to the right, I think this is where that boss battle is going to kick in. So if you are not at full health, there's a heal block right there. If you're not confident you can win the fight for whatever reason, there's a save block right here, which I will be using simply due to the fact that if I do somehow manage to die, then I can just go right back there. I hate it when I try to boat. I hate it whenever I try to boat and then I talk instead. Just wanted to boat. Professor Frankly, you traitor. Except it's not actually him. Opening the door for you? What do you mean by that, you total hag? Ha! Got her. My name's Duplus. I do appreciate the joke of, like, when you originally run into Duplus, he's only strong because you don't know his name, and now he's constantly being like, hey, you should remember what my name is. Come, my sort of lovelies, Marion, freak sheet. I said my name's Duplus. Yeah, we know. Alright. Versus the 3 shadows, or the 2 shadows and Duplus, I guess. Guh, indeed. I agree. Let's start with the most obnoxious of the 3, shall we? Beldum. That's Beldam. She's the leader of the three shadows, back again. Max HP is 30, attack is 5, defense is 0. Their special move is a Blizzard Blast. If it hits you, you'll totally freeze. She has lots of other tricks up her sleeves, too. I wonder what plan that was that she mentioned. What do you think they're up to? Who can say? But what we can say is that maybe Clock Out will work, because I'm curious to see if this will work. Nice, totally did. Alright, cool. Now I'm free to tattle them without the issue of them attacking me. Oh, thanks for that defense up, bro. Appreciate you. Just looking out for a good friend there. Marilyn, the big one that just does a lot. What is with that picture? Why does it look like her shoulders are hunched forward? What? That's Marilyn. She's Beldam's sister, another one of the three shadows. Max HP is 40, attack is 7, defense is 0. She'll attack you directly or use lightning. She also saves up energy for a big attack sometimes. So long as you avoid the brunt of her attacks, she shouldn't be too tough. Apparently, as it turns out, she's got the potential to do, like, the highest damage in the game. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look this up. So I'm gonna double check this. I read this on TV Tropes the other day. I think it's on here. I'm not counting like the bonus bosses and stuff. I guess this is what I was thinking of, but I could have sworn that number was higher. For Marilyn's TV Tropes charged attack, on some occasions in her Chapter 8 rematch, she might charge her attack power 2 turns in a row. This is alarming considering the first reaction players would have when an enemy charges is to use Veil to avoid it. And since Vivian will be stuck in a cooldown phase afterward, your only options are to neutralize Marion or eat the massive damage. If she follows this up with a melee attack, she'll have 21 attack power. Good grief. That was way too much. Speaking of way too much, since we're going to get a level off of this anyway, let's say we do way too much and make ourselves even stronger. I did not hold to the right there. I don't know why that happened. There we go. Get to where we can clock some real damage here. I'll hold off on tattling Dupless since we've got the, since we've got that buff going on right now. Alright, let's hit him where it hurts. Also, guess what? All that star power I wasted? Yeah, I got it back. Oh no, they're back in action. And they're gone. You know, it'd be really nice if we got the star point doubler in this fight. It probably won't happen, but it would be funny. Don't kick him in the gonad. I mean, as the saying goes from Scott Pilgrim versus the World, kick her in the balls. Yes, her in the balls. That's Dupless. He's a shapeshifter, and he's even turned into you once more. I love the little picture of him. It's very nice. Max HP is 40, attack is 6, defense is 0. He may turn into one of us in attack. When he does, he'll have our abilities. Which is also funny because you can knock him over if he turns into Koops. and then he'll be stuck. How do you think he became one of the three shadows? Isn't that weird? Do you think he stands Beldam's abuse? Do you think he's alright in the head? I mean, no, I don't, but that's besides the point. I like some fog. Spooky eyes. Yeah, I think he'll only ever turn into your party member on this one. I don't think he turns into Mario. Not that it will too terribly matter much, but, you know. What are you doing over there, you little goober? Trying to drop a fork on me? Oh, we can switch into Mario. Okay. Wow, they literally did not get to clock a single point of damage on me. Beautiful. The person that had the best chance of doing it was that guy in the audience trying to throw that soda can. Hasta la pasta, nerd. Nope. No doubler, but that's okay. I feel like Gloomtail should have given more experience than those guys did. I know there was 3 of them, but still. Morally, that feels a bit rude. At least Gloomtail actually, like, did some damage. He was never at a point where he was gonna win, but, like, at least he did something. Oh well. Arrgh, at this rate, she'll never... Oof. Gah. Hung. Get bodied, weenies. Yeah, they just say the same thing. Let's leave these doofuses, Mario. Yeah, really, let's get out of here. But first, we've got some badges now. We got 3 points. Is there anything I'd be willing to give up to try to get something better? Maybe the Heart Finder? And I know I have a close call down here I would be willing to give up as well. Plus, when you think about it, those 2 badges don't really work together that well, do they? Because if you're getting hearts, then, like, what's the point of... then what's the point of having the close call badge if you're going to keep getting your health above 5? Finished the game today only. I also did a BP only run. How have you found the difficulty? I've done a BP only run before, and technically it's not a full BP only run. The reason for that is when we did the first episode, I was tagging off with somebody, and they really wanted to do FP once. So that FP at 10, that actually is 10 FP. That's not from an HP plus or an FP plus. As you can see, the only 2 I have are not equipped. So that is actually 10. I mean, I could just equip one and swap out the thing, but having done one before, I really think the only difficult part from what I remember last time is just the final boss. Just because, if I remember correctly, she pierces defense, question mark? I don't really remember per se, but you might see me putting on some HP pluses to kind of counteract that. But if you're counting being able to use the HP pluses and FP pluses to kind of alternate and do an indirect level up in those regards, then yeah, doing a BP only run is the way to go, in my opinion. This is the most fun way to play. It gives you the most versatility. I'd say as a whole, it's probably my go-to. Alright, I'm going to look up at these big badges again. I want to put on something heavier here. The Flower Savers I don't care about a lot. I do have another Power Plus Partner badge. And I would be lying if I said I didn't want to put it on, because I really do. I could probably give up that Power Smash, but I feel like getting all the stylish power makes it viable still. I've been having a bad time of dodging first strikes. I do want to keep Quake Hammer. I do want to keep P up D down. I could get rid of Happy Flower, but I feel like it's doing enough, so I'm going to actually... keep the HP plus on. I want to get rid of Heart Finder. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna get rid of Heart Finder. Use the other Power Plus badge. Just go absolutely insane. Why not? Now, since I took that badge off, of course, that means that I will need to get my health back here. Yeah, the Grodus and Bowser fight was hard just because I didn't stagger my XP to level up after Grodus. That's fair. That's entirely fair. Yeah, we've done most everything we can in the game at this point. The only thing that we haven't done the only things that we have not done that we could are the bonus bosses, which are going to be way harder than the actual final boss fights. Doing the Pit of 100 Trials, and since we haven't done the Pit of 100 Trials, we're missing a couple badges here. 5 of them, of the 6, are in the Pit of 100 Trials, and the other one you have to have cleared the game for, because it's a little quiz thing, and it asks you about characters like Gloomtail that would only be in Chapter 8. We did all the recipes, we got all the star pieces, got all the, oh, this is just clear Chapter 8. Got all the shine sprites. Interesting anecdote for those that didn't get the chance to watch the last episode. Let's see if we can find it real quick here. Somewhere in the concept art. Where was it? No, not that. It was in here somewhere. Might have been in Rogueport. Oh yeah, they changed how the Shadow Sirens look. Probably a good idea on that one, huh? It's like the Jinx problem from Pokemon all over again. Maybe it was in the Rogueport one? Yeah, so at some point we were supposed to get a party member, like one of the fire spirits that shoots fire. Hello? Where was this? That would have been amazing. I mean, ultimately they probably scrapped it for Flurry because her wind attack outside of battle looks pretty similar. But that would have been so cool! You could have just, like, set things on fire. Ah, would have loved that. Tragically, that is not what we were given. C'est la vie. Alright, let's keep going here. One of these. What did I do for dinner? I ate a little bit early today. I ate like right before I started, so I should be good. I usually like just bring something to work, bring like a snack or something frozen I can heat up in the oven while whatever is going on is going on. He's got a life shroom. That's not great. Yeah, just because this guy's got a life shroom. If I really and truly wanted to, I could kill these 2 front guys. Actually, you know what? I thought about it in my head, and then I'm like, that's actually a good idea. I should do that. Kill the 2 front guys and try to steal that with Ms. Mouse, and then he just doesn't get it, and I get the life shroom. It's probably also doubly good that I made something that I didn't need the oven for since my AC is starting to go. So it's about 76 in here rather than the 70 I would normally set it at. Which isn't like unbearable, it's noticeable, but it's not unbearable. Because the first year I was here and we had different management, they took like 3 weeks to fix it, and it was like almost 90 in here. Like it was straight up not livable. Alright, let's see if I can manage to pull this off. I managed to get that one on the chain chomp with the badge that had the small window of time. Yeah, that was way easier. It gave me like a sliver of a bar when I was trying to steal the badge off the chain chomp. That was a defense plus partner, I think. Yeah, I'd say that was the right call, too, of stealing that. I got another life shroom. Yeah, so this is the little attack they'll do here that, we'll try to pull a little fancy thing on you, but as long as you've got anything that multi-targets, which by this point, at the very least, you have Power Shell, then there you go. Done. No sweat. Oh, there's that experience doubler that I needed earlier. Thanks. Well, at least you put it on one that gave me a decent amount as opposed to, like, a fight that would give you 2 instead of 1. We'll take what we can get. What are we doing on item space? We're full. Okay, good to know. Oh, you jackass. How dare you torture me with that? You know I'm gonna have to steal that. You know how bad of a sucker I am for a Power Plus badge. I would give up every coin that I had for that badge. Fork it over, my man. That's mine. That was a foolish mistake to put that in front of me. How dare you try to take advantage of me. I think items don't have a chance to miss while there's fog. I'm not sure. But regardless, I don't really need either of these, so I'm just going to get rid of them. I definitely don't need the Ice Storm. That was picked up somewhere along the way in here. Oh, cool, and it froze him too. Nice. Apparently the audience did not appreciate that. Nice. Technically, I should have appealed there, gotten more star points, but it's fine. It's fine. I forgot Miss Malice did an extra point in damage because of the Power Plus Partner badge. Well, now I'm going to be wondering if I can manage to get 2 levels to get the 6 star points necessary to get that Power Plus badge on. I mean, I'm sure once we get to the final boss, I'll switch it up. Like, I'm not going to need never succumb to a first strike during the final boss fight. Like, that's not going to happen, so... I'm sure it will be fine either way. We'll figure out how to readjust and reorganize stuff accordingly. I'm willing to bet I probably should have used Bobbery there. You might also be able to use the Yoshi as well. Not sure. I think that's what I normally did. Oh, that looked like it fell through the floor for a second, and I was very confused. No, we're good. We're good. I guess we have to go this way. I'm bad about remembering these puzzles. Alright, well, the yellow block we did need there, so we're gonna do that. I'm not 100% sure that's what I was supposed to do there, but hey, guess what? It's what I did. And then I hit the wrong button trying to jump over this. I know there's no more badges left in here. If there are any items up there, great. I'm full, and I don't really want to give anything up, so we're good on that front as well. I think these little lines in the ground are supposed to be your indicator. What we got in here? Oh, got an enemy. Hello. I don't know why I expected this room to just not have any enemies in it, but I did. Stop that Thunder Rage. Let's just multi-target these guys. I completely forgot I had that Volt Shroom in my inventory. I feel like if I end up full on items, that's very likely going to be the thing that goes. I have no use for those types of items. It reminds me a lot of like the counter badge in Fire, or the counter like skill in Fire Emblem of like, oh yeah, if you get hit by anything, you'll reflect. Well, not reflect, but your enemy will take half the damage they did to you. And I, for one, would just prefer to not take any damage at all, if possible, by either dodging it or having high enough defense. But, you know, one man's opinion, I suppose. Speaking of one man's opinion, they're giving us a lot of Power Plus badges. And as one knows when playing with me, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. Which is going to mean that your badge and your soul is mine. It would be kind of funny to fight the Shadow Queen and be like, so the badge setup I'm using is Power Plus, Power Plus, Power Plus, and just have like 4 of them on myself and 4 of them on my partners. Just have a ridiculous amount of them. I don't really have anything that, this is just a single enemy, so I don't want to waste that. Sorry, debating things in my head. Yeah, you know what? We might as well. I was gonna say, like, oh, use Supernova to just insta-kill them, but Earth Tremor twice would still cost less than Supernova once. And it's still going to attack all targets. I don't know if he's gonna immediately try to multiply again. He probably will. Most enemies like this do. But let's find out. Yeah, he just gave up a turn to do the same thing again. Okay. That works. I cannot stress enough how much I like having the Crystal Stars / Star Spirits from the first game. Of having these extra abilities where sometimes there's just not really a good thing to do between your offensive options, your defensive options, and even your items. There's just not really anything good to do, and so sometimes it's just a case like this, where you're just gonna say, you know what, I'll just like do 6 damage just across the board to everybody. It may not necessarily even result in a total party kill for the opponent. It may not even result in you getting a Volt Shroom. It may not even result in you tossing that Volt Shroom because you don't want that Volt Shroom. But you know what? It's the best option you got. Shooting Star. Speaking of dropping Volt Shrooms, let's drop that other one. I apologize to any fans of the Volt Shroom. It's not for my playstyle. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, that one you have to throw Bobbery down too. Anything over here? Nope. Okay. And if it makes you feel any better for throwing out that Volt Shroom, the Shooting Star, again, is not super great at this point because most enemies have more than 6 health. It's used well in a combination attack between it and some other multi-target thing like Quake Hammer. So, I was going to say I'll probably use it here, but there's only one... Oh, no, there are 2 enemies. Okay. We could probably Power Shells Shooting Star combo this. I'll say, as long as the Chain Chomp takes more than 0 damage, this will work. It's probably a good thing that stuff like that isn't too effective, because also you have Earth Tremor in this game for, like, your second ability. And then on top of that, okay, so 1, 3, 4, and 6 are the ones I need to lit up. But even in the original game, you have to wait till the 3rd Star Spirit, but it does 7. And a lot of enemies in that area in Shy Guy's Toy Box have 7, so, like, it works perfectly. That had a really weird depth perception on it, but we got it. I'm assuming that's the key to up here. I don't think there was any other door it could go to. One thing I'll give the dungeons is, like, I don't think between this game or the original, I don't think there's any point, or if there is, like, you can count it on one hand, where you've got more than one key in your possession at any given time. There might be, like, once or twice total, but it's very few and far between. Oh, it wants me to just, yeah, do the thin version rather than the toilet paper roll. I hate to break it to you, my man, but I'm afraid that Thunder Rage is never going to get to see any use. I'm not going to waste my time trying to steal that. I'm just going to appeal, which is probably a waste of time given that we're almost at a level, but you never know. That's the interesting thing. You never know when it might come in handy. Oh, and you dropped it anyway. That's nice. I think there's at least one thing I could ditch in here. I mean, I could just use this. Everybody's at full, but that's okay. It's just a normal mushroom. 1, 3, 4, 6. There we go. That's what I remind Icarus about with, like, the fact that she doesn't know left from right. Because she's like, well, it would take me time to remember left from right. I'm like, you don't even need to remember left or right. Like, you only need to remember one of the two. If you remember which direction is left, you'll know what right is by default. So you don't have to remember which ones are off and on. You just need to remember which ones are on. And then just don't mess with the ones that are not on. Just leave them be. This woman has a master's degree, by the way. Like, I don't understand. How has she not figured out a strategy to understand left from right yet? Using compass directions? Totally fine. Using latitude or longitude? Totally fine. Saying, like, x-axis or y-axis? Totally fine. Left and right? Nope, can't do it. Too hard. Too much. I do appreciate that they have you use basically all your party members in this area with all their different abilities. I know that sounds like a very small thing to ask for. Point swap swaps party members HP and FP. I don't really need that. Thanks. This is another spot where that slow go badge might actually be handy, but I'm gonna try to do it without. And probably inevitably make a mistake as a result. Well, that's not too bad, actually. No, I think there's a little extra door you need to go into, so I'm going to intentionally fly a bit low here. Oh, there's the life shroom, but maybe we can come back for that. Oh, a little bark bark. Hello. FP recovery, nice. We're gonna let to get Flurry do a lot of fighting, why not? He'll just duplicate, and then I'll power shell him and kill him, so... Yeah, get all that FP back. That's what we like to see. We also like to see this enemy leave this mortal coil, so bye. I think he's been the back one every time he's duplicated. Not that I'm going to risk that gambler's fallacy, but it's still funny. Maybe that was the one I was thinking of. You needed Yoshi for, because it looks like you couldn't really hit that any other way. Alright, we got a reddish-pink looking key here. I think I can reach that from here. Nope. I'll have to go back around, but that's okay. There's something else there, too, for a split second. What was that? Oh, it was a shooting star. That's the great thing about having a window with a delay. You can see what it was that you missed. Since we've got the Yoshi out, I'm curious to see how much damage he'd do against these guys with just his regular attack. 7, not bad. Like I said, the death of 1,000 cuts type of attacks are really only good against enemies that don't have any defense. Alright, let's see if it's the back guy for the 5th time in a row, I think. It might be more than that, which is a little bit sad, but no worries. Also, Yin Yang, I'm doing pretty well today. It's a little bit hot in here due to my AC starting to go, but I'm going to talk with my landlord whenever they're actually on tomorrow. It was like starting to go, and it's slowly but surely continuing to, so it's not horrible in here yet, just noticeable. Because it's 76 instead of 70 in here, but I've had it be worse in here in the first year when I was under different management, so it's not terrible, it's just noticeable. They were not on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, which is today, of course, they're not available either, so tomorrow is when I'm going to go in and get that fixed. And the good news is tonight is my last night on before my VR convention, which is going to be on the 6th through the 9th, but it also means that the 3rd through the 5th that I'm going to be totally free. I probably won't stream during those, for the record. I'm going to try to get my avatar ready to go with all the different assets that I've got, because I am sponsoring the convention this year. So I do want to be able to use those assets, for sure. But that was one of the reasons I wanted to at least get the main game done tonight, is if I don't stream, all we're going to have left is just the post-game, which will be the Pit of 100 Trials, the bonus bosses, and I think one other thing that I forgot what it was. After we're done with the final chapter here, I am going to go pick up the Money Money badge, which is only available after Chapter 8, but it's kind of just its own thing. It's not hard to get or anything, it's just you can only do it after clearing Chapter 8. But it didn't really fit anywhere else, so it seemed like here would have been the best spot for it to be. Also, yeah, happy Pride Month. I think I mentioned that last episode, but again, happy Pride Month. For those that are or allies, or even if you just like celebrating the diversity. My brain was like, why do I keep trying to put Goombala out here for a fire enemy? The reason was because I was going to sacrifice her turn, that's why. This month is going to be, like, really nice. The only thing is, like, my paycheck's going to be a bit small because I'm taking a lot of time off. But the good news is I'm taking a lot of time off, and I've needed a lot of time off, for sure. Even doing that, I'm going to be above average on hours worked compared to all my coworkers in my department anyway. So, it's not even going to make that much of a difference. But yeah, I'll have the 3rd through the 10th off, and then I'll have the 16th through the 22nd off this month. So I got a lot of free time, which is going to be very, very weird. It'll be nice. It'll be really good. I get a lot of stuff done that I otherwise just would not have the time or energy to do. And more importantly, get to spend time with friends and family that otherwise I would not have the time or energy to do. I don't really think I want that shooting star, but the life shroom, however, that I could be tempted into picking up. Question is, what am I willing to give up for it? I think it's going to be the Repel Cape. I know that's a chance to dodge, and it's like the Thunder Rage is probably worse, but if I'm going to grab that shooting star, I'll get rid of the Thunder Rage. But this is just a chance to not get hit. These are a guarantee that you will not get hit. So, Repel Cape. Did that guy respawn, or did I just not notice he was there? I need to figure out what to do with my additional badge points here after this fight's over. I don't feel like we're going to have enough fights left to get a level before the final boss. I could be wrong about that. Like, we still have the Grodus and Bowser fights. So I genuinely could be wrong, especially if we get a doubler at the right time. What color do you think Bonetail was before becoming undead? So we have red and black for the other two, for Hooktail and Gloomtail. I feel like it was probably a lighter color. I feel like it would be a color that one wouldn't expect with the others. I feel like it'd be like yellow or something. It'd be a yellow or a light green or a light blue. Something you would not expect that would not be one of like the darker colors, like a dark red or the dark purples and blacks. Something completely different. Maybe in like a light green, potentially. I feel like it would be a light color. Alright, we'll take that, swap out the Thunder Rage. How many life shrooms do I have now? I came in here with 2. I think I have 4. I do have 4. Okay. That should be plenty, honestly. I think if I see another one, I will probably pass it up. I felt like going in with 2, I'm like, a third one would be nice, but I feel like 2 is probably fine. And then I got the third one and thought, okay, perfect. Now with the fourth one, yeah, I think I've got plenty. It's just I need to be careful with my health on that final boss, because I know it can one-shot me if I'm not careful, if I don't set up correctly for it. Speaking of which, it looks like we are getting pretty close here. Why would you give me that? Why would anybody need a Fire Flower at this point in the game? Why would you do this? Not a soul here asked for that. Okay, that's a little bit more viable, at least. I think ultimately I'm just going to use it. There's probably going to be a heal block here, but I think I'm just going to use it. It's going to be like a jam and jelly. Yep. It's almost like I've played a lot of games and know how design works. I think I'll just use it, because, like, all this other stuff that also replenishes FP also gives me the health back, and, like, they're all higher than my max FP, so literally this is the worst one, because it's not giving me my health back. And since we did all the recipes, I don't need that either. HP and FP are already full. Okay. Then we'll just save and move on. Actually, since we can do quick change, I'm going to put Vivian out in front. I usually like seeing her dialogue the most, either her or Bobbery, so. Well, speaking of getting ready to fight Grodus, I think we're here. This room makes me feel bad, but it seems familiar. Kind of wish games don't have limited storage. It's like a weird catch-22 of, like, there are times where it is definitely frustrating, but also, like, it kind of provides a challenge in of itself of having to balance your items as opposed to just going in being a walking arsenal of like having infinite storage space. So it's a weird balance to strike. It's a very odd balance to strike. It's one of the things that I love and also hate about Earthbound in particular, because you get like 16 inventory slots in that game. 4 of those are going to be taken up by your armor pieces, and for Ness in particular, you need your ATM card, your Soundstone, your phone receiver, more often than not the pencil eraser. So like another half of that storage also gets taken up. There is a way to cheat around getting the Soundstone out of your inventory, though. It's not even a glitch. For those that have not played Earthbound, if you don't want the Soundstone in your inventory, before you get where Buzz is, find enough Spiteful Crows to fill up your inventory with cookies, and once Buzz dies and tries to give you the Soundstone, it'll get sent to the Escargot Express, and you don't have to pick it up. You can still record the melodies on the Soundstone without having your inventory. It's a little bit grindy, but it will ultimately save you an additional spot in your inventory. So, pro tip. I suppose Lord Dump didn't have any idea of my plan. Yeah, so basically, yeah, whether he won or lost, and the odds are he was going to lose, the Crystal Stars would get here regardless. It appears they are so useless the small task was beyond them. No matter. I get the pleasure of oh, you get the pleasure. That's nice. Grodus will rule the world. No, he won't. We know that's not true. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, it's just like a challenge, but it's not a self-inflicted challenge. It's not one you can choose to be like, hey, I want less storage space or whatever. So it's a weird balance to strike. Look at all those little goobers there. What are those doing? I'm afraid there's only one way to find out. Let's do some tattling. Let's start with the Grodus X first, since I'll be using the Shooting Star to kill those. That's a Grodus X. It protects Grodus. Max HP is 3, attack is 4, and defense is 0. The guy has no problem on its own, but Grodus' defense goes up for each of them. When he has force surrounding him, we won't be able to damage him at all. So let's dish out some hurt to them while we pound on Grodus. Foe raising. But you're alright. Those gotta go. Get those out of here. Why do you get to start with a free shield, huh? Get that out of here. So yeah, he'll get 2 of those per turn. But I want to get all the tattling done before we really start to clock some damage on this guy. That's Grodus. He's the head of the X-Nauts who kidnapped Peach. Max HP is 50, attack is 7, defense is 1. When he has Grodus X's, or maybe Grodus Crosses, I don't think it says, surrounding him, his defense will not, or his defense will go up by that number. His defense won't go up. He may also use electricity, fire, and time-stopping magic. That doesn't sound good. Still, he's a totally weird guy. Why is he so intense and serious all the time? Guess we don't have time to worry about that. Let's beat him and find Peach. Agreed. When in doubt, I suppose. Courage meal! I have no idea what this is gonna do. I should have figured something like that was gonna be the case. Aw, not the time-stopping junk. Luckily, we're immune to that because... Lucky. Also because I've got Feeling Fine on. This is another good boss to stop those other nasty status effects that can come out. I think Vivian will be our best choice to destroy all enemies here. Alright, cool. Now that those are all destroyed, all the tattling is done, we can focus on damaging this guy. Before we do, however... Oh, maybe I just want to damage him directly. Do I want to let's see how much we do with direct damage here. Also, I think, yeah, you can also attack Grodus' Scepter. It does not mention this in the tattle, nor is it featured on even multi-targeting in this fight. It will not target this, but you can target the Scepter. Also, you can up your damage. So that's nice. And if you do enough damage to that Scepter, it will break, and it will significantly limit his options. Yeah, so when it's busted like that or it's taken damage, there's a chance that he just will lose his turn, which is really, really nice. Yeah, you also can't select it as a target when there's Grodus X's on the field, which is a bit of a pain. I don't really have anything great for, This is just a fight because of the shields that they kind of force you to multi-target a fair bit here. What's your favorite and least favorite changes of the remake? Least favorite, no doubt, is entering the pipes with AA. I prefer to enter the pipes with down. That's not even because of Thousand Year Door. That's because of muscle memory from literally every other Mario game. All the way back to Mario 1. Favorite change by far is the partner ring. Not even to go into the menu to switch partners is nice, it's simple, it's effective, works well. I like it. Okay, so we have to have something that can jump. Okay. There we go. I believe you can break that completely. I know this is dumb, just using Earth Tremor over and over to knock these defense units out. But it is also damaging him. And like I said, I'm pretty sure you can break that staff altogether. Also, if those little, like, X enemies have 4 health, again, that still means that the Fire Flower is irrelevant, because it wouldn't do enough damage. So you have the metal to push me this far, but no more. Yes, no more, I agree. I might let him... Oh no, it would do enough damage. I thought this had 4 health, not 3. I'm gonna let him... Well, no, probably... Yeah, because I do want to keep attacking the Scepter. We'll keep doing this. I was thinking, like, what if I just attack him for 1 turn and let him get the 4 out and then use this, but... Then I can't attack the Scepter, so, you know... We can just do this till we run out of star power, basically. And I feel like at that point, he'll be at low enough health that we could just wail on him, like, hit him really hard with whatever we got, and that'd be enough to take his HP down to 0. I think he can heal himself, though. I don't remember completely for sure on that one, though. Maybe you can't break it. Maybe you can only just attack it to make him lose the turn. Which, to be honest, is still probably worth it. It's still probably worth it. And this is going to be our last our last Earth Tremor opportunity for a bit. But we'll get the star power back pretty quickly, so that's not too big a deal. Bingo! You know what? I'm actually going to go for attacking him. Excuse you? I'm actually going to go for attacking him directly rather than the staff this time. Because provided he doesn't heal, I think we can get him next turn, potentially. He will not stop me. Take this. Ow. Yeah, I'd rather not land on that, thanks. That would be an unfortunate time in one of the bigger boss fights of the game to get nailed by that. I kind of want to see what this does, but I feel like it would be better to look it up and find out what it does rather than, you know, do a dumb... What do I have for other options here? Oh, I can hit him with that. Okay, well, if that's the case... Haha! Get bodied. I was like, that's gonna be like leaving him with 1 health. It's gonna be just enough not to get him. But then I forget I have like a buttload of power pluses and also it's power smash, so it's gonna do more damage on top of that. So no, we're good. You're more than you seem, but this is not finished. I saw even this possibility. Watch this. I summoned a woman. You did. We're very proud of you. You did it. I'm curious, though. I gotta know. What does the trial stew do? The Japanese version of Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, a trial stew can be made by yada yada. If used, it lowers Mario... Oh. Oh. I'm glad I didn't use that. If used, it lowers Mario and his partner to 1 HP and down to 0 FP, but completely fills star power and triples how much is gained for a while. Unlike other recipes, the in-game description is written sarcastically, describing it as amazing and results incredible without noting some of its effects are negative. Oh. So, high risk, high reward, I guess. That's probably not getting used. I hate to disappoint. I feel like the only time I would do that is as a joke of like, if I had both my ally and myself, I could use it and then deliver the final blow to somebody. You want to throw that trial student? Yeah, really, though. I wish you could do that like in Final Fantasy, where you could like use potions on an enemy, and it's like, well, why would you do that? It's like, well, let's say your enemy's undead, and you threw a phoenix down on them, which normally would bring a person back to life. But if they're dead, then it would just insta-kill them instead. I don't think it matters what you pick here. Do you not care for the life of your princess? I really don't. But speaking of people whose lives I care about substantially... Boyfriend! Hey, gorgeous. Bows? Oh, that was a surprise. I didn't think I'd fall. Crummy ancient tower construction. Your impactfulness, are you okay? No, don't fight Bowser. You should go and give him a hug. And maybe do other things to him. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to put an end to it right now. Mario, first I pound you, then I take the Oh my. Yes, please. I mean, what? Nothing. All worn out from battle, Mario? Easy pickings. Today's the day I flush a plumber down the drain. You know, in the bathroom. Cute little bows. Oh, and also, that ugly lady Kammy Koopa thing is here. And that's true. What is a finale without a Bowser appearance? Like, he's right. He is right. Facts is facts. And as one of my favorite TV shows that tragically got nailed by the writer's strike of 2007 would say when discussing a murder case, the facts are these. Starting with Kammy Koopa. That's Kammy Koopa. She's an evil old witch. She's always helping Bowser out. Max HP is 50, attack is 5, defense is 0. She uses magic to raise her attack and defense or get electrified or invisible. When her HP gets low, she also may use her magic to restore her health. Her magic is totally annoying, so take her out before you focus on Bowser. Still, you gotta feel for having to hang out with Bowser all the time. You gotta feel for Yeah, I was about to say. Bowser's got to deal with her. I feel like that's 100 times worse. I think now is probably a good point to try to get myself back up to a decent amount here. I feel like Mario's probably toast, and it's probably worth keeping Goombella from dying in one hit more, so I'm actually going to restore her health and get full FP. Because if Bowser uses like a Fire Breath attack, Mario's probably just toast. Or almost toast. Look at you! I sure do feel good today. I am feeling it. Lord Bowser, rah rah rah! Rah rah rah, big smexy Bowser. If only I had those Peril badges, but I don't really use those because I don't do Peril builds. That's a big smexy Bowser, genius. You've only fought this guy like 1,000,000 times, so keep kidnapping Peach and you'll keep fighting him until the end of time, I think. That's a super cute picture of him, by the way. Max HP is 70, attack is 7, and defense is 2. In addition to his Fire Breath, he jumps on you and bites. Ignore that screen capture taken because I accidentally meant to hit minus. If you get jumped on, you'll be unable to use a command for a little while. Oh, and his bite sometimes poisons you as well. But you've got feeling fine, so that's not actually going to work. I don't know what Bowser's doing here, but we gotta beat him quick. There's not much point in using any of these, because, like, even if I put a buff on myself... you know, I don't know. I said it wasn't worth it. I wonder if Clock Out would work. I was kind of waiting for Goombella and Mario to both have a turn to attack. Let's have some fun. Let's see what happens. It worked on the Sirens, so they didn't even get to do anything, so it might. Yeah, it did. Cool. Alright, so we got some playing room here now. That's always a plus. Really, the big thing is if we could take out Kammy and Koopa while they're still stunned, that would be a tremendous help. And I totally think that's doable. Poor Mario is just, like, almost dead. Like, this man is barely clinging to life, and yet he's still going to be able to beat Kammy Koopa before they're going to get to really do anything. Ooh, perfect. I saw those double mushrooms. Forgive me, Lord Bowser, I have nothing left. Why are you humping the floor? That was really creepy. She's still kind of humping the floor. You can see her back moving. You little goober, if you try to drop something on me, well, don't drop it on him either. That's not nice. Also, that is nice. Little Bowser 69. I'm going to give up my turn to Mario, also because I want to get the bingo roulette here, and jumping on Bowser would just hurt me, so... There we go. B-I-N-G-O. That's thus far been the best use of that roulette, easily. That was very well timed. Other times it's like, I don't really need this, but okay. This one was like, oh, I was actually almost dead. And granted, I would have had a life shroom to get me out of that, but I still appreciate not having to worry about that. Let's see if we can't get our star power back up here a little bit in case we need it. Least favorite stage in this game, in terms of like the actual stages and what they're able to do anything, or like the chapters. If you mean the stages, it's probably this one that we're on right now. I do actually like having all the little things that can happen, and it feels like it's way more balanced in this game than it was the original, in the fact that like the audience and whatnot is supposed to be helping you, and the majority of the time they do. In the original game, it felt like it was probably about every one good thing that happened to you, 2 bad things happened. And now I would say for every 1 bad thing that happens to you, 2 good things happen to you. Maybe even more than that. So it feels like it's a lot better balanced now than it was before. Nope, don't need that. I'm kind of focusing now on getting my star power back for the remaining fight, because that's the only thing you can't really restore using those heart blocks. The other stuff I can get back. Oof, so Mario, you still have some fight in ya. Not bad. Oops. Oh no, I did block that correctly because it did say guard. I just still got knocked over by it. I think we're still okay for a bit here. Or maybe not. Very unique situation we're in here. I don't think I can do enough damage to get him this turn. I mean, I could use, like, Showstopper to do 15. I'm talking not using my star power. I don't think I can do enough damage to beat him this round. So I'm going to use a small amount and just try to get that star power back. And it didn't work. But luckily he missed. Oh good, those didn't go off. I thought they were going to try and kill me. What is some audience members say? It's usually the evil guys, like right there it was an X-Naut. It's usually like the X-Nauts, the Hammer Bros. The characters that are traditionally good, like the Toads, they'll always give you items, like they're trying to help you, but it's the baddies. I think I'm gonna just try and run the risk. If I lose a life shroom, like, I lose a life shroom. But it's also possible, as you just saw, that he just misses again. Damn, it's fine. Fight's almost over anyway. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, Dancer on the Daisy passed out. That's fine. This fight's almost done anyway. Wonder if this will do anything. Hi, wake up. Nope, didn't do anything. That's fine. Now will you come join us, mister, and help? Hey! Look at that. There's the doubler we wanted. 60 star points. Yeah. I can go back for 2 star points. I can do that. The effect of the charm is... You know what? Again, that's fair, considering that it just gave me a doubler on Bowser and Kammy Koopa. That was close. It was. At least we got Bowser taken care of. Huh, Mario? Now let's save the princess. Nah. Also, she's gone. That's Princess Peach. Bye. Hi, Bows. Oh, poor guy. Hey, Kammy Koopa. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and fight a single enemy for those 2 experience points, because I want those. Get my health back here. Actually did cut that pretty close. I don't like relying on, like, a percentage chance to dodge or anything. The reason why I did, for those that haven't seen my badge setup here, we'll just go to my equipped badges, is I've got Pretty Lucky, which means enemies will miss 10% of the time. Another one, so that's a 30% chance that they'll just miss regardless. And then also Close Call, that means that foes have another 10% chance to miss whenever I'm in danger. So there's a 40% chance he was just going to miss me completely. So, like, pretty good odds he wasn't going to hit me. I don't like banking on stuff like that, but, you know, if you got to, you got to. Also, I appreciate that Fire Flower's still there, but I'm probably not going to use it. Why do you hate Peach? I mean, it's just fun to pick on her because of, like, Mario Party. Like, she's the typical damsel in distress of, like, she's completely useless in fights. She's just there to get kidnapped type of thing. She's more of, like, the traditional damsel in distress as opposed to, like, how you see the female leads in movies more recently in the last decade, where, like, female characters actually have, you know, the ability to be able to do things themselves. It's the unfortunate part of media was it always portrayed that women just, like, could not handle themselves or take care of themselves, but now you've got plenty of other characters in, like, cartoons and real life media where it's like, yeah, no, you've got, like, Wonder Woman, you've got, like, Judy Hopps from Zootopia, like, you've got all these female characters that are quite often just as strong, if not stronger, than the male lead, which is a nice change of pace. The versions of Peach that I like are those versions of Peach. It's like the Peach from the Paper Mario games is not as bad as the original, including Super Mario RPG, where she joins your team and helps you. Like, in the Paper Mario games, she'll send you supplies and be able to help you that way. She's not just, like, sitting in a tower somewhere feeling bad for herself and not doing anything. So those are the versions of Peach that I like, where she's not just either portrayed as or is outright just completely and totally useless. I want her to be able to actually contribute and do things. I can't stand characters that just sit there like bumps on a log, just waiting to get captured and are completely useless. Doesn't even have to be a female character. Give me any character. Give me male, female, non-binary. Don't care. Just, like, don't make their main trait useless. That's, like, the worst trait you can give any character is useless. Maybe there's an enemy down here. Nope. That's how I roll. Oh, here we go. Here's one. I was like, am I going to have to go all the way back and then back out and back in? In that case, I just get the curse refreshed, but this'll work. We can make this a pretty quick fight, even. If I could go to the right menu. Oh my god. There we go. Done. Yeah, I'm not going to go all the way back to get the curse refreshed. I only came here for the star points. I just wanted that additional level before we went to the final boss. A little bit more flower point, or a little bit more badge points, rather, to work with. And getting our star gauge back up to full, which is also a nice little bonus. And I guess a Volt Shroom, sure. I don't think that works on the final boss at all, but sure. It'll take us too long to get back here, thankfully. So when does BP end? I believe at 99. I think it cuts off at 99. Because, like, I'm at 84, right? Is that what I just got to? 84. So it'd be 87, 87, 90, 93, 96, 99. I believe it caps at 99. I think your level also caps at 99. So, like, if you continue to level through that point, which I don't think we'll see, it's possible. Depending on how bad the bonus bosses are, I might do some off-screen grinding to get additional levels. But, if you run out of BP, same as you would in the original Paper Mario, once you cap it at a measly 30, you would just choose between flower points and health at that point. Which, given what I know about the bonus bosses, I would probably honestly go for FP, because it feels like with health, you're in the bonus bosses, your health is one of two ways. Either full or dead. You're either alive or you're not. since I did some TV tropes reading last night. Oh, this is not the right way to go, I don't think. Oh, maybe it is. I have an idea of how the bonus bosses fight. I don't know everything perfectly. I didn't like watch a video or anything, but I have an idea. And yeah, whoa, they make the final boss and even the boss of the Pit of 100 Trials, the first one, look like a joke. If you're wondering what they are, note that I said the bonus boss of the Pit of 100 Trials the first time. There is a second one. Hey, give me that. Missed that last time, and I have a free inventory slot, so I'll take it. Never seen characters back or having them always face the camera. I don't mind them having their back like facing away from the camera. I think it's a nice touch. It's cool to see the additional sprites. So I'm totally fine with that. Have you found your own page? I've not, actually. I don't think I have one, but maybe? I'm not sure. I did one back in the day. It's gotten taken down since because I published it wrong because of how weird the formatting is for TV tropes. But I did one for back when we did Minecraft Hardcore with on Spoot SSBM's channel. This was many, many years ago. But I like made my own one for all the characters in that one that everybody was. So I did those back in the day, but yeah, not sure if I ever had a wide enough audience to have my own page get made by somebody. I'd almost make it myself if I could figure out how to get the format to cooperate, because it's something with like the pages not linking together correctly. I should be full here because I just got some BP. Alright. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. What of these badges am I absolutely not going to need? I'm definitely going to want these because she can do lots of status effects. I do want to keep the power pluses. Lucky Start's not terrible. I don't think I need Spike Shield because she does not have spikes. She's not going to drop items. It's the final boss, duh. This could potentially be helpful. I might keep that one on. We'll see. I do like keeping the luckies and the damage dodges, and I'm very tempted to continue to stack those. I'm not gonna lie. P up, D down. I don't know. I'm considering getting rid of that one. Quake Hammer's not gonna be of any use in this fight. Chill Out's not gonna be of any use in this fight. Ice Power's not gonna be any use. Close call, maybe. I'll think about it. Power Smash, I'll hang on to. First attack I could get rid of, but it doesn't cost any BP, so I'll just leave it there. I'm going to sort these by BP required, just make sure they're all here. So I got 16, alright. So from what I remember about reading the Shadow Queen is defense actually, like, gets negated. So, like, I think that's right. I'm going to double check that. So I think I actually read this fittingly on TV tropes. Yeah, her attacks will go through all of your defense buffs. So it's just the buffs, I think. She has a defense score of 1. Making sure I'm not missing anything else here. Capable of boosting her offensive defense. Defeated. Yeah. The use has been taken out. So yeah, the defensive buffs don't work. Maybe the badges do. The badges might still qualify, in which case I might consider sticking these on Mario. He's got the lower health between him and the party members, so I feel like he would be the more important of the two to keep alive. Or to have those badges to help keep alive. What if I just did something like this? Let's see how I would feel after that. I'd have 3. I do want another power plus. I know you're screaming. You're like, you don't need another power plus. You have too many. And I know, and you're right. But I want one. I want one. There's nothing like down here that I can... Oh. What if I did another close call to increase my evasion if I got put in danger? And another pretty lucky. That would put us at 40 right there for dodge chances. and then another 20 on that, so that's 60% chance to dodge when in peril. In general, 40 just to dodge. I'm going to try that, and we'll see what happens. And if I game over, then we'll start back here. I think there's one more save block before the final boss, but either way. Every time I've ever, like, gone adjusting badges... Hi, Bowser, you're adorable. Every time I've gone about, like, adjusting badges, the more time that I think about it, the more I end up screwing myself out of picking things that I should have picked. So I feel like by sticking with what I have got is ultimately going to be my best shot. Throw something away. Well, I mean, if we've got this many life shrooms, I feel like the Ultra Mushroom's not too big a deal. Like, this is still a full heal for everybody, up to and including Bobbery. That's a full heal for almost everybody. Like, I feel like the trials... Like, one of these three things has got to go. I kind of want to keep that just for the laughs. I don't think either of these are going to be useful. I'm pretty sure there's a jam and jelly at the bottom, and that's probably going to mean that that fire flower is going to go. But let's see if I'm correct about that. I'm pretty sure there's one more save block here. Yep, sure enough. Yeah, that fire flower's gonna go. I get it, it multi-targets, but it's 3 damage. It's fine. I just want to keep the trial stew for, like, a laugh, you know? Maybe use it on, like, a final turn if I'm at a spot where I know I can get her with just Mario, have my partner use it or something. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I guess potentially that could be good if you're trying to do, like, a peril run. You could use those items to intentionally put yourself in peril. So, it would actually have at least some semblance of a use. So, yeah. 2 Ultra Mushrooms, a Jam and Jelly, 5 Life Mushrooms, 3 Boo Sheets, a Power Punch, a Trial Stew, and a couple of, like, basically full heals on HP and FP. Hit the save block one more time. Yin Yang, I will let you decide for hearing the dialogue for however our partner reacts to the Shadow Queen. Who would you like to hear? I have quick change on, so I'll switch back to Goombella to tattle the Shadow Queen, but other than that, you pretty much have free reign to pick, because I can just immediately swap out whoever for Goombella if you don't want Goombella. In the meantime, I'll check my messages here. Ah, it's all just one person that sent out a huge post of things. I want to hear Vivian tell her boss off. That's fair. I don't actually think she recognizes the Shadow Queen. Like, this is, again, talked about in Vivian's TV Tropes page, so it's worth a read. What do you think fire flowers work differently in this game? Oh, just in, like, the doing 3 damage to all enemies type of thing? I don't know. They're very good early game. Like, in Chapter 1, I recommend them very heavily because of getting the Sun and Moon Stones where the fuzzies are. Whenever you pick up whenever you pick up both of those, you get attacked by a group of 4, and it can just wipe that fight. And that's pretty early in the game where you may not have a lot of ways to deal with those fuzzies. So just nuke them. Like, just straight up nuke the field. It's fine. Like, sometimes there's just a particularly nasty set of enemies where you're like, I could defeat these slowly and take a lot of damage to my resources, or I could just nuke them with 1 item. So just nuke them with 1 item. It works. It's fine. In the coffin behind me sleeps the legendary treasure. No, Bowser's out. He's back there. You walked past him. Sending the map calls. I mean, if you hadn't sent the map, they would have gotten the map when they captured you. We would have had no way to get the crystal stars. They almost assuredly would have gotten them, and we would have not really known where to go or what to do. So, like, this was probably predestined to happen regardless. Ooh, pretty black and purple lights. Can we leave these on, please? Just asking for a friend. Hi, Shadow Queen. How's it going? How you been? Loving the hair, girl. Glad we went to a load. Oh, that's why we went to a loading screen. Oh, that's creepy. I don't like the hands. I think it just went dark, like it just did like a normal wave. I don't like the hands. Nope. Nah, no thank you. That, yeah, that's bringing back, like, Wind Waker, Floor Master memories there, and I don't like those. Not a fan. Not a fan. And we're gonna have to see it multiple times, because it's gonna cover multiple areas. Ugh. That secret entrance sign. It's so funny. Big brother. Jillian, I thought you were, like, busy all the time. What are you doing hanging out here? Whenever somebody says, what's all this, I always think of all things, Mario Party on the Game Boy Advance, otherwise known as Mario Party Advance. There's a character you run into multiple times in that game that every time they introduce themselves, they say, what's all this then? They're like a detective character. Except, unlike the detective in this game, they're actually like a halfway decent detective. You, very well. Where is the vessel? It is here, the girl who lies before you. Fine. I love that they changed the text box for her, too, by the way. I love how it looks different, just really adds to the creepiness. But yeah, Peach is gonna get eaten, so that's cool. And more important... Oh, we're not gonna show it yet. Yeek. If only Flavio was there, it'd be really funny to see his reaction. There it is, what's all this then? I know it's not the same guy from Mario Party Advance, because that's a toad. Rather than a penguin, so... No, it's not the same guy, for a fact. Meanwhile, I believe who is to be the actual Frankly... No, this is unthinkable. Dude, you're not gonna be able to get through the palace. You know what? It's fine. Just let him go. It's fine. Love the silhouette work there. I'm a sucker for just seeing silhouettes like that. 3 words. Yes, Queen, slay. I love this outfit for Peach. I know this is an evil version of Peach. I love it. It looks so cool. She looks way better in black than she does in pink. Who are you that would command me? Huh? What do you mean? I thought you were bound to obey the one who woke you. Lol, nope. Or I'll send you back to the depths. Bye. No one commands me. Yeah, get his ass out of here. Seriously. Mario. His face. He's just like, just standing there stunned. So yes, the actual final, well, not final boss, but the actual trick of it is that basically Grodus thought he was so smart he didn't even realize that one of his so-called underlings was playing him the whole time. He thought he was too smart. He would have caught it if somebody had done that, and sure enough, someone did, and sure enough, no, he did not. Become my faithful servants, I will not harm you. I promise to follow you. I believe in her. Become her servant. Nah. If you do that, it's a non-standard game over, and admittedly, I'm not pressed for time, but I don't want to waste additional time because I do need to get ready for work, and I do need to be heading out in about half an hour. So, let's fight. Oh, I forgot to heal whenever I put on that HP+. Eh, well, it's probably fine. I will follow you to the end, I swear it. I feel bad for the princess, but that queen must fall before us. And when she does, I'll tell you how much, or I'll tell you how I... Well, anyway, let's take this fight to her. Oh, yeah. If you've seen the ending of the game, you know what that's referring to. Well, Vivian, before you follow us, we're unfortunately going to have to put you away to learn about... Oh my gosh, what happened? I can't believe Peach got possessed. That's awful. Also known as, this is the Shadow Queen in Peach's body. Now she's the Shadow Queen, the demon that destroyed this town 1,000 years ago. Max HP is 150, attack is 7, defense is 0. She'll unleash big lightning attacks. So she will also use magic to raise attack and defense or to absorb HP. She might even try to drag us into the darkness. I don't feel good about attacking Peach, but we have to do something. Don't think of it as Peach, we just have to fight to the end. Come on. Alright, I already know for a fact, like it said, that using the defensive buffs don't work. But that doesn't mean the offensive buffs don't work. So we will be focusing primarily on the offense. Can I use the D-pad for this? Okay, good. Wow, this feels much more comfortable to hit these arrows with the D-pad. Holy cow. Alright, show me what you got. Ouch. Alright, Mario, let's do this. Now let's go for the jump. I think the jump overall will do more. Already got the double mushrooms. Nice. We get to use those next turn. That's only gonna help you so much. Oops. Vivian has a crush on Mario, who doesn't? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much everybody does. Oops. I messed that up. It was on me. There we go. That's much better. So you're not weak. Maybe you're less useless than you appear. This body's unfamiliar to me. Yes, too unfamiliar. Let me assume my true form and show you my real power. Please do. In this form, your attacks are like those of a child to me. You're lucky you perish with the honor of seeing true terror and power. Cool. I'm down. Oh, we don't have everything that works too terribly well here. To use one of these, probably. I guess on Mario, sure. I'm looking for stuff that multi-targets, and the party members are, of course, going to have a better time multi-targeting than I am. So this is the point where you can't do any damage. I thought it was phase 3 that happened. Yeah, that dodge idea is not the worst thing in the world. Man, I should have just gone in on full evasion, I guess. That's still funny, though. I think at this point we're just supposed to attack. I think you have to do X amount of attacks on her, so I'm not just going to sit here and appeal. I think you do have to, like, show that, hey, your attacks are not working X amount of times. If you sit there and appeal, then it's just not gonna do anything. Ouch. Sorry, Vivian. I timed that really poorly. Oh, she actually got me that time. That would have confused me normally, but again, feeling fine. I could jokingly try Infatuate, but I'm willing to bet it probably won't work. Can't imagine why any status effects would work, be it Infatuation, Poison, Confusion, whatever. And there goes the audience. Yes, I've recovered from any slight damage I've taken, and now I will punish you for your resistance. There we go. What do you think of Vivian and her sisters? I'm sure she disowned them by now. Yeah, she's like pretty much. She realizes that basically her sisters treat her like crap, which they did. And the main reason initially she joined Mario is because Mario was nice to her. Which is still one of my favorite tropes to this day, of just because you were nice to me, of like, somebody joins the hero, like, literally only for the reason of that person was nice to me. That's all it was. That's literally all it took, was just somebody being nice to them. It's such a simple trope, and yet it's so true. Of like, sometimes that's literally all it takes, is just you being nice to somebody. And that is the literal difference. Hey, Luigi! How you doing, bud? Also, Don Pianta. He's a pretty cool G. So this has changed slightly, it looks like. Or maybe I'm forgetting. It's been a hot minute since I played through the end of this game. I think the last time that we streamed it was the last time that I played it with the original game. And that was at least a couple years ago. But I thought Mario had this thing. He did. It's the good old keep on praying from Earthbound. I do like it a bit more in Earthbound, of like, it literally causes damage to the final boss in that game, to Gygus. But also that game's just darker as a whole than Thousand Year Door is, so it just kind of fits better. I still think to this day the Gygus fight in Earthbound might be one of the best boss fights that's ever been created, just for how it plays out and how it goes, of like, this one particular move that has not been too terribly useful to you if you've been using it throughout the game, of Pray. It's literally just like hoping and praying and believing that somebody out there is able to help you when it does not feel like anybody's able to. And then ultimately it ends up being like you, the player, whatever you put your name in as, is what ultimately does Gygus in. It's just such a good, iconic moment to that game. And that game's full of good moments. Same as this one. Also get one of these good lines. This is another one of my favorite archetypes of anybody who's beat me is not allowed to lose. Very Seto Kaiba-esque. Of like, if you're able to kick my butt, then like, you should not be losing to anybody else. Yugi gave his crown to some nobody? No one deserves that title but me! It's so good. We need a character like Kaiba just in everything ever. Any sort of media. Doesn't matter if it's a video game, doesn't matter if it's a movie, doesn't matter if it's a cartoon. Just have a character like Kaiba in every single one. They're always the most interesting character. Well, not always, but like, they're one of the most interesting characters every time. How'd you rank Ichigo, Protag, and Rival, and Best Friend Love Interest? I mean, I only ever watched Original and GX all the way through. I've watched both through multiple times, and I think they're an odd balance. I think I like both the pro tags. I actually like that Jaden is like such a contrast to Yugi. Less so the Pharaoh, but like Yugi is the main character. I know people think it's a Tem / the Pharaoh. Yugi is the main character overall in the story. Like, it's his story, it's his journey more than even the Pharaohs, even though they're just, you know, intertwined. So I like that Jaden's like a protagonist that's upbeat and excited. Like, he gets humbled and hit hard, like really hard. And to the point where he doesn't really fully recover until the finale of the entire show. And like that's something that's not done very often. It's usually the opposite way of like they start out timid and afraid and they learn to be strong. It's very rare that in particular a main character who's upbeat and positive like that just gets wailed to the point of like confidence is not just shaken, it's destroyed. So I think I like Jaden more as a protagonist. I would say Yugi is probably the better one, but I like Jaden more. For the rival, I mean, it's between Kaiba and Chaz. I like both a lot. It's definitely Kaiba, though. But Chaz is my favorite character from GX. Best friend, that would be, what, Joey versus Cyrus? Yeah, Joey's gonna win that one, hands down. Cyrus is just kind of an character to me. He gets a little bit better, but, like, There's a really funny YouTube... I'm just completely ignoring this ending thing. There's a really funny YouTuber out there that basically does like these what ifs of like, what if Joey had beaten Merrick? What if Cyrus had beaten Zane, etc. And the one for what if Cyrus had beaten Zane, he's like, you know, Cyrus played like a pretty good game considering he uses one of the worst archetypes with the Roid monsters. Like, you could almost not pick a worse archetype for your deck. So, like, yeah, he lost and didn't really have a chance, but considering what he was working with, he did pretty good, actually. He just has a really bad deck. He's a little too down in the dumps for a little too long for me, so I think Joey is more enjoyable. For love interest of Taya versus, my brain's like, My Valentine. Taya versus Alexis. I think Taya's got more going for her. She's more important to the story. She's never lost. She's undefeated, so that automatically makes her great. If nothing else. Mort. Yeah. What up? I'm just gonna let this keep playing. Alexis just isn't too terribly, like, important to the plot most of the time. I don't think she's too terribly strong of a duelist, but, like, she's supposed to be an Obelisk Blue, like, she's supposed to be a good duelist. Like, by the fact that she's an Obelisk Blue student, she's supposed to be good. Taya openly does not duel. Like, we don't have the expectation that she's supposed to be good. Yet she's never lost. So it's very bizarre. So yeah, I think Taya, ultimately. So I think Pro Tag for me personally is better in GX. I think for Rival, Love Interest, and Best Friend, Original Cast wins for sure. And I think, like, subjectively for me, I like Jaden more. I think objectively it probably is Yugi / the Pharaoh. Yeah, if we're considering Yubel or Jesse, I don't really know. He's, like, he's missing for a lot of the time that he's in the show. Yubel I could totally see, though. I love Yubel as a character. She's great. He's great. Depending on what version you want, they're great. I know that's different in Japanese versus English localization, translation. Still would like that that dub for the 4th season. I know I won't be getting it. I know. I'm aware. It makes me sad. So I wanted to go focus on card games on motorcycles. That's the Shadow Queen. The actual Shadow Queen. She's scared, but we gotta hold her ground. Max HP is 150, attack 7, defense is 1. Same stats. Worse than she saves energy for a big attack. That is gnarly. We do our best to avoid it by hiding the shadows of Vivian, I think. Not only is her body scared, but her hands are pretty mean as well. She has several attack patterns, so watch closely to see what's coming. Let's do it. This is it, our final battle. Let's get everything we've got. It's punishment time. Punishment time indeed. I'm gonna start by getting rid of those hands. I'm not ready to catch them hands, but I am ready to throw them. So we're just gonna get rid of those. I know they can come back, but I like to make sure that I have an idea of what I can be prepared for with just the Shadow Queen by herself, no additional Andros hands or anything like that. those are gone. What? How is it that you can hurt me? Mario's just wiggling around. I guess it is technically a separate fight, so we do have the high evasion. I was about to say, so between that and like the additional 40 on top of that, he's probably not going to get hit this turn or the next. I kind of want to do what we did last time, honestly. It worked pretty well. I am not hitting the right buttons. Let's try this again. I believe, like last time again, the buffs for defense will not count, but the buffs for offense sure as hell will. If I'd gone down that bottom row, I might have been able to get another point in offense. The only reason I was clicking on the defense ones is because there was no offense ones there, and I figured if I got rid of them, it might put in more. How much is that true? I don't really know. Oops. Messed that up. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. We should probably go. Ooh, we got the shine sprites though, so that's good. Vivian, if you would be so kind as to take us out of this mortal realm. Ooh, yeah. But yeah, I'd say Ubel is like... It's a weird thing of like... Because that's always like so hard to explain for people that really don't like reading or writing, which I'm not saying you're not, but like people as a whole these days just aren't. Of like, characters can be connected intimately, which is, you know, when people like intimately, they think sex, of course. But like, Ubel and Jaden are connected so intimately, even if it's not a sexual, in a sexual way, that yeah, it would absolutely feel like a relationship, because you can definitely have relationships that are intimate in some ways that are not intimate physically. How fitting to talk about that for Pride Month. Let's see. Kind of do the same thing again. Yeah, fire away, my dude. I don't think I'm going to use that, but fire away. That's the boost I wanted to see. I almost got 5 out of that. Jeez. I probably should have boosted, like, Goombella, but it's alright. That's still pretty good damage, though, 11 plus the additional fire damage. That's not bad. That's definitely not bad. You're gonna send in the hands. Nope, you're just gonna do that again. Okay. That's fine. Here, take some fire damage. And also a spin jump. For your pleasure. I don't know if there's a stylish command for that one. I don't think there is. But don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. Bonk. Trust I guarded that correctly. Nice. No, don't put the audience to sleep, you dingbat. Well, it probably does do more damage because it's a multi-hit attack. Yeah, 16, that is more. Was she still buffed in that attack or no? Ow. Yeah, she was. I was about to say, is that, like, I knew she did a lot of damage. I didn't think it was quite that much. That would explain why. I think I'm gonna let Mario take an L here. By which I mean lose a life and pull out the life shroom. And whatever she attacks with, there's still a chance that she just misses altogether, so... No, it cannot be. How? Nice, got a couple blocks in there. She still does 10 with just the Power Plus badges. That's still pretty good. I could keep buffing my stats, but I think we're good to just basically, you know, go through. I've got plenty of these, so I'm not worried at this point. There's Mario. And right back up. I think even without getting that Shine Sprite bingo, it still would have been, did not mean to do that, but we did it, so it's fine. And that's game. Did she give you 1 star point like I remember, or am I thinking of something else? 200 coins. All the money. Nope, you don't even get 1, but that's fine. Impossible, unthinkable. How could I cannot be beaten by lesser beings such as these. Yeah, I could have definitely, like, won that fight without using the life shrooms. Again, it's just like I've got about 10 minutes to wrap this up, and we've still got credits and stuff. So I didn't want to continue to prolong that fight when I could have just tanked my way through the rest of it. It's fine. It's not like it's impossible to get life shrooms. They're in a store in Rogueport, so... I think while part of this cutscene is playing out, I'm going to grab a change of clothes. I'll just be hitting the A button. But if you hear me in the background, it's just me grabbing my clothes. I'll go ahead and get changed and get ready to go, which will give me an extra minute or 2 of buffer time to make sure I get to finish this out, which, even if I'm late, like, already worked more hours than every other overnight. Like, what are they going to do? So, you're leaving then. Yep, we are. I'm afraid.
but we're putting on some deodorant at the same time because it... Not that I didn't earlier when I woke up, but, you know, it's summer, so you have to reapply. Yes, that's right, and I thank you, Goombella. Even after you leave here, please don't forget about us. Man, if people only knew, or, like, if the game makers, the first time they did that, only knew of, like, yeah, people would be begging for a remake for this, the minute the GameCube was not really a system people had anymore, they would be begging for it. So, this came out in 03, 04, so about 2007, 2008? So about 4 years after, and then it took 20? Yeah, no comment. Gonzalez. Oh yeah, wait, I gotta stop doing that. It's Mario, right? We'll always be Gonzalez to me, man. He's still a little infant. Mario, I feel like I've grown to love... yeah, never mind. Yeah, I should think that you and Peach make a nice couple. No, we don't. We really don't. We really don't. Yeah, good old Ms. Mouse. I do, indeed. I don't think she's actually there if you didn't pick her up as a party member. Or if you were, like, planning on doing all the Trouble Center at a later date, perhaps. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. My inventory's full. I can't hold those. No, I'm just kidding. I know I used some items in that fight anyway, so I know my inventory's not full. I used at least one. And I lost 2 life shrooms because I used them, so I've got at least 3 inventory spots, so should be good. Should be good. The entire world is in your debt. I don't know why I said that like Seymour does in Final Fantasy X when he's like, and I will rule the world. It's like, no you won't. Like, of all the people that have tried to rule the world and gotten close, like, you wouldn't even break the top 1,000. Set a course for the Mushroom Kingdom. I don't know who said that. I'm assuming it was probably Toadsworth. Maybe the ship captain. Obviously not Peach or Mario, because Mario doesn't talk, and Peach, doesn't seem like something she would say in that way. They're all such lovely people. I mean, none of them are people, per se, but yes, they're lovely characters. Mario does not care in the least. This boy is just looking at the water and nodding and not paying any attention at all. I wonder if they changed the shot at all. It looks about the same. Yeah, it's always that moment of, like, sometimes whenever the sun strikes something, a la Emperor's New Groove, when the sun strikes it correctly for sunrise or sunset, even something that initially looks pretty ugly actually looks pretty beautiful. So the whole, it's a matter of, like, how you perceive it. Perceptive and all that. Oh, they have those are so cute! The little pictures in the background. The one with the red frame's got all your party members from this game, and the one with the blue has all the party members from the first one! Yes, I love them. I love them. I don't remember if the first picture was there at the beginning of the game, but the second one obviously wasn't, because that was before you met all of those. We beat the Shadow Queen, but there's tons of Rogueport lore we don't know yet, so my research goes on and on. Yep, it sure does. With the info I gathered, we have lots of great leads now, though. Like I always said, every myth contains a kernel of truth. Want to know what that in the chest was? You're not going to believe me when I tell you. It's a secret, but I'll tell you next time I see you. It's stupid, don't worry about it. It's really dumb, like mega dumb. The fabled mega dumb. I'm gonna go grab some socks as well, now that I've dressed and gotten ready. But I'll continue to mash the button as I go hunt for a pair of slots. I had a feeling the exit would take this long. It's just I started way later than I initially intended to. Which is funny because I got up before my alarm, but there was just like a lot of other junk going on. Yup. Get some more light on the TV screen so that I can see where my headphones are. Where did I put them? For them after I get my socks on. She wants to give them another chance. Now that Shadow Queen has been defeated, I don't think Beldam's into evil. It was just a phase. We should have known. Beldam also promised me that she'd never be mean to Vivian again. I think the three sisters are going to live pretty peacefully from now on. Well, I hope so. I hope she'll lose that mean side of her and maybe kind of be cool. Cortez, my boy, my beautiful little skull boy. Just hanging out there on the high seas. What a bro. He was so happy, I thought he was going to blow up on me for a second there. When most people use that phrase, they're usually referring to, like, I thought he was so excited that he was going to start a fight with me. He was so happy to see me, he just started cursing and yelling. It was great. I do love Ms. Mouse as a character. Characters that are, like, more morally gray or, like, do semi-bad things, but definitely not as bad as the evil side, but are also, like, on your team are great. That's why one of my favorite characters that I've ever written is that way. Like, she's on your team, but, like, she's a comic relief serial killer. Like, she's hilarious to write. I love her. So, yeah, Grodus is still alive, but he has no body, so, Of course, as I already hinted towards, and as everybody probably already knew that played the original game, Tech is still alive. If you hear noises in the background, that's just me packing up some other stuff, so don't worry about that. I just never take them out. Are they still in my backpack? Surely they're not. Oh, they are. I never took them out. Okay, cool. I could have sworn I used them. Like, I usually listen to music before I go to bed, and I usually do that through my headphones. That's odd. Tozer found a treasure map. Oh, no. Is Luigi, like, trying to hold me back from killing her, or... I don't know. Blip. Don't suppose we could skip, maybe? No? Okay. Did they change up how they did the credits at all, or is this still going to look relatively the same? Where, like, characters are walking around the crystal stars and areas and whatnot. we'll see. So there you go. That's the main game of Thousand Year Door. Like I said, we'll be doing the post game at a later date. So what we've got left, for the record, once more, is we still have one badge left, Money, that we can get now that we've cleared through Chapter 8. There's a booth in the creepy steeple area that can quiz you, and if you do all the quizzes, then you can get that badge. But we couldn't do those until we, at the very least, fought Gloomtail. I think you have to completely beat Chapter 8, so it is a post-game badge. The remaining 5 badges are in entirely. They're most of the rewards for doing the Pit of 100 Trials every 10th floor. Most of those are badges. So that's where the remaining badges are. We've done all the recipes, we've done all the shine sprites, we've done all the star pieces. Other than that, we do have some bonus bosses that are brutally hard, which is Prince Mush, and then there is a bonus boss at the bottom of the Pit of 100 Trials, and then there's a second one as well, which I'll leave that as a mystery. I think, from what I've seen, though, Prince Mush is the harder of the 2 fights, but we'll see about that. We also still have the final 3 troubles in the Trouble Center that unlocked after we cleared Chapter 8, so we'll do the 3 of those. I'm thinking probably the first thing we'll be doing is we'll do the Trouble Center troubles, and we'll finish that. We'll get the Money badge, so we'll have that, because it's kind of just a weird thing. There's no good place to put it, per se. And then we'll do the Pit of 100 Trials from there, and that will probably all be one stream. And then I might do some off-screen leveling to get some more badges. Potentially. And the only reason I say that is because I am not fully confident, even at this level, that I would be able to succeed in beating the super bosses. Can't say with full confidence. So, not completely sure on that one, but we'll see. So that'll be 2 streams. So, again, those are going to be a little bit further down the line because I've got that week-long break. I'm going to prepare to get ready for the convention on the 6th. I've got 3 days to do that. And then, of course, the convention itself and getting back into work. But at the very least, we will definitely have the following weeks there. Even if I don't get it done the following week, which will be the week of the 10th through the 15th, I will have the 16th through the 22nd completely off of work for the entire week. So we'll definitely have it done by that point, like, for sure. But I did want to get the main game done before having that break. And I'm glad I got the main game done. Hi, Cortez. How's it going? I don't know if I'd say the game is an improvement on the original. I say it's just as good as the original, and the original is an A+ game. So it's got a few small things that are better. It's got a few things that are not quite as good, and it's got a few that are different, but I wouldn't say that they're better or that they're worse, like the soundtrack, for example. Like I said, I think the big thing here, the quality of life upgrades of having the partner wheel, of having some extra pipes so that travel back and forth between Creepy Steeple and Twilight Town is nice, and how they do the warp system with having the warps all in one room and all clearly identifiable as you know where you're going rather than trying to play a guessing game is definitely an improvement. The jumping down pipes, not holding down but hitting the A button, not the biggest fan of that in the world, but it's not, like, it's something I'm sure I would get used to, but I'm not personally a fan. I do think I'm probably going to let the credits not roll all the way, because I am kind of cutting it close on time as it is. But I can always just message the people I'm relieving and let them know that I'm gonna be running a few minutes late. Fiend, hey, you put Bowser at the end. Good. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. We need more of our boy. He is the best boy. Is that going to kick me to the title screen? If it's going to kick me to the title screen, then I'll just, Hey, there's the saving icon I wanted to see. Perfect. Alright, we'll see you all next time for more of Thousand Year Door. Again, expect that probably next week, because I want to focus on having that time to get ready for that convention and going. So probably next week. If not next week, definitely the week after we'll be doing the post-game and finishing stuff up, because I'll have the full week off. Till then, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed. Enjoy the confetti. Enjoy the Bowser.